Turtle fluff, nice. Turtle fluff. That was a deep pull. Okay, everybody ready
Is
to
it
roll?
from something?
Yep.
Yes.
It is now.
Oh.
Here is this week's.
Canon now.
If Roll20 wants to work for us, previously on by everyone's favorite obnoxious druid.
After being refused entry into Vallaki by those superstitious fools, all because I can wild shape, they then have the gall to threaten me with their huntsman. Don't they know the more they attack the wilds, the more the wilds attack them? My friends deciding that a more peaceful solution to our predicament is required to gain entry into their town than the death of their hunters. For Irina's sake, I suppose the wilds will claim them soon enough. We camped a short distance from their walls, and it quickly became apparent that Audric was not with us. Dax immediately began to return to town, taking no care to watch for traps, looking for Audric. Thankfully, we weren't ambushed. And a distressed Audric was found on the road, upset at some minor slight or whatever. Dax apologised, and we returned to our half-built camp for the night. As dawn came, we were rudely awoken by Gallus, crying, "To arms!" Only to then discover we weren't under attack, but a cart was coming down the road. Sometimes I think that Dragonborn has a spear stuck up his arse. It's always the military way with him. He doesn't seem to understand the finer things in life, like a nice lie-in on a soft moss bed. God, how I hate the early mornings. The cart proved to be of some interest at least, pulled by a fine specimen of a horse, occupied by an eccentric man by the name of Rictavo. He seemed friendly enough, or very eager to learn of us, and write in his journal. Speaking of journals, I really should burn Dax's book of names. She told me her ratio today, and for some reason it seemed to have stuck with Rictavo. He seemed to want to know a lot about us and our travels, and how we arrived here, but seemed evasive on the creature he held captive in his cart. Whatever it may be, it's a large animal. All the wonders I could learn from it. Maybe a new way to see this god-awful place with its sharp eyes, or maybe a new set of smells to be discovered with a powerful nose. Only time will tell. The yearning was strong to release this animal from its cage. So strong. But now is not the time. After a very animated retelling of our predicament from Audric, bobbing up and down like a deranged monkey, entertaining though it was, Rictavo agreed to assist us in entering Vallaki, although at a very steep cost. My friends wanted me to wild shape into something small, which they could smuggle into town and have me trapped in a room while they went about their days. I, deciding that being in prison, even if it is in a room rather than a statue, would not happen. Had to sacrifice my hair, my beard, and my distinct perfume. They always complain that I stink, but they have never smelt through the more refined nose of an animal to see the true beauty of my perfume. Having suffered such an indignity, they still demanded I wild shape to gain into the town. They then proceeded to stuff me into a cramped, lumpy bag to get past the guards. Once inside, I expected to immediately be released, only to be poked and prodded. Such a thing required I defend myself. And yet, on we went, arriving at the Blue Water Inn, and having to suffer their attempts at conversation, while being crushed up against God knows what in here. Finally, I'd had enough. I was going to break out and return to our natural form when I heard Dax saying that she was going up to the rooms, so I decided to wait just a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Forgotten. What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marielle was the only one that didn't poke fun at in that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, how can you make fun of Marielle, though? She's just so sweet.
Well, no, it's easy to make fun of Marielle. Maybe because, but I didn't have a lot to say, I guess, this week.
okay. I think we lost Adam.
Yeah, I think we did.
Oh,
No, I'm here. I'm just whittering to myself while muted. I'm saying, I'm looking forward to hearing Marielle's one, so we can all hear like I'm still stuck with this band of fucking idiots that have been following me about. I'm trying to complete a quest here, and I just don't have the heart to tell these retards to get lost. Give me God, give me strength. So,
Yeah.
thank you for your previously on Forgotten.
that was awesome.
That was awesome, and I'm really enjoying these taking turns things. It gives us a little insight that we might not otherwise have. But
I like it too.
and it gives Meg a break she would not otherwise have.
Yeah.
So
We are still waiting for a Dax one though. So
That's true.
we are still waiting on the Dax one. Yeah.
hey, not so much of a break now.
Aye. But yeah, we'll
Couple
see.
more weeks and then I can start doing them again.
Yeah, well, it's up to folk at the end of the session. Nobody's obligated to do it. I'm happy to step into it, get some ideas, but we'll see. As we left off, you were only halfway through the day, according to my notes. So you've still got the rest of the day to do with as you will, having been left by Octavio departing to go to some sort of other activity.
I was talking to the barkeep, and
were?
he was telling me to go get wine.
You were indeed. The other interests, I
was going
believe, were St. Andrew's Church that you heard about. And yeah, going to see if you can procure the wine shipments that have stopped coming through. And Octavio assured you that he would enlighten you on this wizard's tower that you seek the very next morning. So you still got half a day to do with as you wish, or we can fast track through the day. What would you like to do?
No, I'd like
I'm
to go
still a
upstairs.
cat in a bag.
Yeah, we need to go upstairs and release Forgotten.
Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. So do.
Oh yeah,
upstairs.
you were actually walking up. You walked past those two dudes.
Yeah, and as they were scowling at me, I just smiled and waved.
Right.
Yeah, like as I go up to the stairs, I take the key that was given to me with the obnoxiously large wooden bit attached to it. Open up the door, and
you find
as I
yourself
hold
in
the
a
bag,
simply but adequately appointed room.
as I go to open the bag. Okay, Tracy, you can come out of the bag now.
Tracy, do you exit the bag you're being addressed?
Yes. And as soon as my feet touch the floor, I wild shape back into my normal form. What the fuck took you so long?
Okay.
Jesus Christ, it stinks to high heaven.
Who?
The bag.
Okay. Probably because of you, but
No,
okay.
that's not my smell. It's something else. Maybe
Well,
a
we'll
little
have to-
addition from me.
Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to going into my bag later. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin
Well,
in that
you
real
shouldn't
quick.
have poked me.
Well, you didn't have to claw me, and you were meowing a lot, and I needed you to be quiet, and you weren't being quiet, so that was
Right in the
thing to
bladder.
do. Great. Great. And I just set my bag down by the bed. Gingerly.
I just haughtily walk out the room.
No, wait. I pull him back in the room.
Yeah, you should have.
Wait,
Should have
please.
left them outside.
Forgotten. Wait, please. I need to explain a couple things to you before we go back downstairs. So, there's an issue with the decor in this place, and I know you're not going to like it at all. So, basically, the way I see it, we've got a couple plans. Either A, you stay in the room so you won't get angry. B, you can help me destroy said decor before we leave the town.
How soon is before we leave the town?
I want to get out of here as soon as possible. I want to ditch this bitch and leave.
Oh, why don't we just set about it now then?
Like, go to the church now and just deal with everything and then leave.
No,
like...
the decor, the decor.
No,
If it's
because
that offensive, we might as well get rid of it now.
but I'd like to play nice with these people. I don't really want like a whole town coming after us. We're already a weird and eclectic group as it is. We don't need people coming down our throats too.
Oh.
I'm trying middle ground here, please, Forgotten.
Fine, fine. So what is this decor?
It's wolves' heads on the wall.
And you
awful.
expect me to be okay with this?
No, that's why I'm saying we're gonna destroy it later. We just need to deal with it for like, I don't know, while we get everybody outside of the tavern and go ditch this brother and sister.
I just take a deep breath and start back towards the stairs.
Okay, I guess we're gonna do the plan of destroying it later. Great. And then I thumbs up behind Forgotten's back and start following him downstairs.
As you descend the stairs, you can see Erwin's standing at the bar. I'll take a quick tap you out here because he's left. Erwin's standing at the bar and he sort of does a double take as first this stranger comes down the stairs. This bald-headed, bald-chinned, strange-looking fellow comes down the stairs, followed by our Goliath rogue. He does a double take and looks confused a moment, looks into the bottom of one of the mugs that he's polishing, and then shakes his head, but keeps an eyebrow raised and glancing in the direction of this new stranger that appears to be entering from upstairs. The rest of the party, what are you doing?
Drinking.
Just say, you owe me a beer, Meg. Sarah.
Wine. Just
I asked for something stronger, didn't I? But I didn't get it.
The wine is pretty strong.
Okay. I'm drinking wine.
Yeah, it's unusual. I'm not sure if Marielle's a wine drinker, whether
She's not. She's not a drinker at all.
it's these guys. You spend too much time with them.
It's the gloom. It's the something. I don't know.
Well, whatever it might be, this wine has certainly a heady taste to it. It slicks your mouth and throat, and in the way of what we would know as cheap wine, but as here is probably better than some wines you've smelled. It's certainly very rich and deep. As Gallus and the rest of the party are approached by the now shaven, Forgotten, and Dax. As you pass these two gentlemen sitting at the top bottom of the stairs, they too do a double take as you pass them by, Forgotten, and one or two of them, one of them sniffs at you and sort of, like, without even hiding it, sort of glances you up and down, taking you in from foot to head, and unbrazenly hard eye contact to watch you walk across the room to rejoin your
I
party.
do a drive-by.
What does that mean?
You fart as you walk past them. A drive-by.
Okay. I didn't know that. Is that a spell you need to cast? And do you need to roll for that?
Nope.
So you do
roll for flatulence.
roll for flatulence, yeah. Little does Forgotten know that whatever stank he may create from his rear end is quickly overpowered by the stench that he emanates. And as you pass through the room, a hint of this smell that has been emanating from the bag and catching people's noses. They suddenly people turn their chairs away from you as you pass by. Some of them smart enough to know it's coming from you. Others in this busy tavern, glancing directly at you and pulling their tunics up over their noses. Although being generally discreet and as mannerly as one can be when one's about to lose their lunch.
Oh,
So the party gathers at a table.
yes.
You've got most of the day left. Or as I say, you can fast track. What would you
I
like
think
to
while
do?
they're drinking, I would just go upstairs and deal with my bag.
If no one else is doing anything, I would at some point, like in between the fast track, I'd like to have a conversation with Irina and Ismark.
They are still here. You can see Ismark's uneasy in this busy place. He's eager to be moving on, even though this is seemingly his final destination. He's perpetually got his hand on his hilt of his sword, watching over Irina. She seems somewhat more relaxed, perhaps more relaxed than you've seen her. She currently stands sitting at the bar with a large glass of wine, nodding and answering openly and friendly to Erwin's questions. He seems to take her as a bit awkward. He sort of, not from around here, does the standard barman questions, but quickly gets the impression that she's not a talker and leaves her alone. As you approach Gallus.
Well, comrades, we made it. Are we all happy?
Fuck off.
And she's
And I raise my glass and put it back down, and yes. Hey, sir, this stuff is good. I mean, what's your name?
I'm gonna do a quick perception check to see if Gallus notices the fuck off audibly said by Aldrich.
go for it.
Well, it wasn't exactly under her breath, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm speaking to Ismark and Irina.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, make me. Are you attempting to be discreet with your "oh fuck off," Aldrich?
No.
Okay, then you automatically succeed.
I do
Whether-
a glad. I think this is the first time Gallus has realized that
Yeah.
that Aldrich might have an issue with him.
Yeah, I was going to
So,
ask. Does he put the dots together here, or does he just
yeah.
who's upsetting Aldrich?
It's like whoa, that came out of nowhere. So Gallus raises an eyebrow at Aldrich and then goes back to his conversation with Irina and Ismark.
And Irina and Ismark, Ismark's still sort of standing guard beside her, not able to relax, and she says, "Yes, we are glad to be here. I wish to visit the father in the church, but I already fear that I have exchanged one present for another."
We'll get to that later. Ismark, once your sister's in safekeeping, will you be returning to the village? I'm sure you have duties there.
And he sort of he opens his mouth. He does say duty. He looks at you and opens his mouth as though to scoff at that idea, and then you can see him thinking, and he rubs his chin. And indeed, I do have duties now with my father's passing, but I'm reluctant to leave Irina, and I suspect that you will not be lingering here too long.
We very well could be, and either way, Father Kolyanovich.
Kolyan.
Yeah, Kolyan. Did say that your sister would be safe here. You can't live the rest of your life here as your sister's keeper, and I'm sure that she would probably appreciate a bit more freedom than this.
Yes, but I do not.
What's the point if you're saying that you're gonna sit here and watch over her for the rest of her life? Then you may as well have done that in Barovia.
This place is safer. So father said. I'm not sure I agreed with him, but he was at times a wiser man than I. And if I am not to protect her, Gallus, then who will? And Irina scoffs and turns back to the bar. Erwin, another please. And he brings her another, and you can see she's already downed in a short time quite a sizable tankard of wine. And he scoffs, and she's a strong woman, but she is willful. Gallus,
Uh,
if I
and
may, and he like leans in while she's talking to Erwin. He leans in, and I feel that she will not stay here long. She will. She will wander.
I this is a worry of mine as well, but I would say that that would only be exacerbated by your presence here. If you were to just remain here and watch over her, she will be trying to escape. What's she been saying this whole time? She doesn't like to be treated like a prisoner.
She sat right next to him, listening to this.
Make me yeah. She's at the ball. Well, I think Ismark in this circumstance is trying to be discreet. I'm not sure if Gallus. I don't think Gallus knows how to be discreet.
Gallus isn't like Gallus's personality is that he believes himself to be righteous in general, so
Yeah.
he doesn't need to be discreet because what he's saying is right.
Yeah, that's what I gathered. Yeah. So as you're saying this, and Ismark's like, every now and again you'll say something, and Ismark's like, and like glancing over at her.
And Gallus is completely comfortable with he's like literally straight faced, like as Ismark is cringing essentially.
and as you say that, he says, "Well, what do you think, little sister? Should I leave you be?" And she turns round, and you can see now that the whites of her eyes are slowly fading to the pink of this wine. Yes, perhaps you should leave me, little brother. I can look after myself, and if you are convinced I am doomed, then why follow me into my own doom? The people of Barovia need you. The best you can hope for with me is following me about like a silly little boy. And she begins like laughing and sort of like turns to Erwin and laughs as though they're sharing a joke, and Erwin like, haha, yes. And Ismark looks between them and says, looks between Gallus and Irina and says, very well. I think I am no longer needed here. Sister, if you need me, send word to Barovia, and I will come with great haste. And her with her back to him, sitting at the bar, she like waves her hand and almost waves him off. Very well, Gallus, I asked it for the time that you spend here, that you keep an eye on her. You are a strange man, but a good man. And he pats you in the shoulder and heads towards the door.
I pat him back and I say, you're a good man too, and you're a dutiful man. I'm sure that your people in the village will need you, and you'll be able to offer them the protection you've given your sister.
He takes this in with as he sort of looks at his feet and sort of shuffles from one foot awkwardly to the other. Thank you. I hope that is true. And he heads towards the door. And as he turns to close the door behind him, he casts one last glance over Irina, and seems to make up his mind whether to stay or to go, and steps outside and
I wave
closes the door.
goodbye and say, bye, Skidmark.
He opens the door again as if to wave, and then what you just said is processed in his head, and he goes, "Fucking bards." Closes the door.
And then I'll turn to Pip and say, one day I'm going to teach you how to insult people.
And Pip looks at you and says, I think I'm picking it up. I think I'm picking it up.
Good
I smile and nod.
If you truly want to insult people, never listen to a bard. They're so full of hot air.
And Pip steps in and says, or wash. And then like looks at Audric.
And I fall off my chair.
I've been listening.
Mary throws back her head and laughs, and is not real steady, so I bet you anything she falls off her chair.
Oh, look, the drunkard in the group. How very entertaining this is.
And she like raises her eyebrows and said, "Oh, the smelly one of the group. How entertaining."
Go back to your wine, lady.
And Pip stands up off his little stool beside the table and says, "Don't talk to her like that, smelly man."
Thank you, Pep. And I try to pat him. I have no idea if he's close enough.
You
Just
and
pat me there.
he begins like oh, and like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Marielle and the others. Like they could have left you outside with your stupidness and your your weird animal stuff. And stop that. There's no need for it. If my mother was here, she'd clip you around the
Oh,
ear for being rude. You're a rude man, a rude, smelly man. And then he like sits down in a stool and like crosses his arms and silly, smelly man.
I put a hand on his shoulder and
little
stare him
boy.
straight in the face and go, and if it wasn't for me, you would be dead. Learn to hold your tongue, boy.
And Pep like goes to open his mouth again and then shrinks down and huffs even deeper. His face begins to turn a colour to match his hair. Stupid smelly man.
Don't pay any
If it
attention.
wasn't for you listening to me being so inspirational, you wouldn't have been fast enough to save the boy. So
Actually, I would have been.
calm down, Baldy.
Baldy. So we cut back to the bar where Irina turns around to Gallus and says, "So, are you my no, wrong accent. So, you are my protector now, left in the care of the noble Gallus. Will you be following me around like a little lapdog now to protect me?" And she's
On the
like, you can see,
contrary,
waving her
I
arm about drunkenly.
I performed a duty for your brother. He asked that we get you somewhere safe, and I've completed that. I would suggest that my next duty to you will be to ensure the freedom, or as much freedom as you want, as you've made clear that you want. So that's all I'm here to safeguard. Once we get
Wonderful.
to the church and you have somewhere to go, somewhere to sleep, um, I'm happy to I'm happy to do as you please. I'll turn around and walk away. And if you feel that this is as much of a prison as you were living in, just let me know and we'll get you somewhere else, or I'll get you somewhere else at least. I can't speak for my companions.
And you can see that's not an answer she was expecting, and she sort of takes it in, and already is slowly like beginning to sway on her bench, on her stones. Very well. And turns round to the bar, and as you walk away, she says, "Erwin, come." And Erwin like steps up. "The mighty Gallus has granted me my freedom. How lucky am I, Erwin? What a lucky girl Irina is." And she like just like leans on the bar and takes another big swig of her wine with her back to the party.
Women, impossible to please. Am I right, Odric?
Mm,
Who
fuck
told
off.
Who told you that? Audric?
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
There's a palpable tension. You hear chairs around the room scraping away from this table as the tension builds.
You got beef?
And Pep like huffs off. You can see he's uncomfortable sitting near Forgotten, and he gets up and huffs off and goes and climbs up on a little stool beside Irina at the bar, and like looks up at her, and she looks down at him, and he like does like an awkward like puts his arm around her and like pats her on the back kind of thing, and then she leans on the bar, both elbows, and he sort of copies, sits up on his knees on the stool and copies, and they begin sort of, you can hear them like talking, and every now and again you can hear her sort of tittering and him tittering, and you're not sure who's trying to cheer up who, but they're sort of like tittering amongst themselves. So,
Okay.
what would you like to do?
Have I dealt with my bag yet?
Your bag, you're not sure that your bag is dealable with. Your bag has this stench about it that is familiar and seemingly. Well, what are you trying to? You gonna dunk this thing and try and wash it out? There is water jug and bowls and such in the room. A bar of soap.
If it's got the forgotten stench, and like I've known Audric to like try to get rid of his stench, I think I would just kind of put all of my shit back in the bag, kind of carry it at my side, not putting it on my back, walk down the stairs, and be like, guys, I need to go shopping.
I'll come with you.
Anything's better than here with the decor.
And I
Shoot a glance at him.
try to stand up.
I think you're.
Stand up.
However, in your cups you haven't been here long enough to lose your locomotion. Maybe the world wobbles a little bit as you stand, but you're able to stand up. Forgotten, as you look around at these wolves' heads on the walls, you do notice, as you noticed with similarly to the wolves' heads on the pikes around about the town, some of them are bigger in shape than wolves that you've normally seen. One in particular that hangs over the wall nearest the bar is humongous for a wolf's head. What would the party like to do?
I'm getting up to go out with Dax to go shopping.
Okay.
Erwin, where can I go buy stuff?
There's a couple of places in town. Hang on a second, I'll just check where you can go and buy stuff. There's tells you about the old stockyard, which is a warehousing kind of place. You'll find stuff there, and I will. One second, okay. What exactly is it you are looking for?
I hold up my stinky bag. I need a new backpack.
Ah, I agree. Very well. If you go to the Arasek stockyard, you must have passed it on the way in. Perhaps they can help you around there.
And then also, I don't know, what are the other shops that are around here? Might be interested in other things.
Well, you have a little one with you. You might want to try out the Blinsky's toys. He's a fine craftsman and a friend of our mutual friend Octavio. They are acquaintances. If you wanted a little something for the boy, huh? And he like leans over and squeeze Pep's cheek, and Pep goes, "Don't touch me." And like Erwin like snaps his hand back. Very well, lad. I won't.
How about it, Pip?
I think I'm gonna stay with Irene if that's okay.
Dax was visibly uncomfortable at the suggestion. And kind of looks at the rest of the group.
I'm sure Audrey could be willing to stay and keep them both company.
I was planning on staying and drinking. Is that the same thing?
Okay.
Gallus goes up to Dax and says, guilt tripping always works.
Well, Pip, if you don't come with me, I don't know what kind of toy you want. So, I guess I can't get you a toy.
He begins like nibble at his nails and like looking between you and Irina and like, that's okay. Mom says I'm getting a bit big for toys anyway. Perhaps if you wanted to get me a surprise, that would be okay too. But I guess maybe I can go another day. Maybe.
Oh, you don't want to hang out with Dax anymore. She's gonna be really upset about it.
That's fine. I get it. And I slowly walk out of the tavern looking really sad.
Oh. And Peps like looks a bit forlorn and like, I'm sorry, Dax. Like turns around to the bar, and then like pats Irene on the back again. You can see she like turns around and like nudges him to go, and he like shakes his head.
Oh, Pip. Oh.
So, who y'all's going on a shopping episode?
Me.
Me.
I'm gonna stay at drink and moan at the barman about bards who don't play any instruments. And get absolutely fucking trolleyed.
Trolleyed.
Interesting. That's an interesting term.
Drown all my sorrows.
Yeah.
So, what's
I'll
the
use
first?
my quarterstaff to make sure Marielle walks in a straight line. Just prod her back in the right direction.
Left a bit, right a bit, right a bit.
I
Yeah.
ask Erwin for a soft drink for Pip. Something suitable.
I can give you a glass of milk, perhaps some lemonade we have. It's not the sweetest, but it'll certainly put hairs in your chest, eh, lad? And then reaches out to pinch his cheek again, and immediately withdraws his hand. And
Smart man.
Pep nods and says, "Milk will be fine, my good sir. Thank you." Right you are. Coming up, young sir. And Erwin sort of laughs to himself and shakes his head. So.
Oh, shopping we will go. Oh, shopping we will go.
Gallus, what are you doing? And Marielle, you staying here?
No,
Yeah.
Marielle's going shopping.
Marielle's coming. And Gallus is
Gallus is staying.
Oh, I'm sure Audric's stoked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gallus leave Irina with Audric.
This is where I'm looking forward to seeing these all come back and find Audric and Gallus in a loving embrace.
Oh
Right.
my.
Give me 1 second.
That would be something.
Right.
Poor Irina being the wobbly H.
Yeah. So, I'll drop these back onto the time map then. Choose music. He's heading to where he's heading first.
I guess the stockyard was it?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you head back to the direction you came from. Why is this map in darkness? I can.
Try dynamic lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, can I try and guilt trip Gallus into going? Because he was going on about guilt tripping.
You can try and you certainly can. Go for it. What does
And
that look like?
I try and guilt trip him by saying, surely they need, someone who's really good at protecting people to go and protect them.
No.
No, they're fine.
I put my head on the bar, like my forehead on the bar.
Are you now sitting at the bar with Irina and Pip?
Yep, with my head on it.
Like
And a bottle of
arms
wine.
dangling.
Yep, as much wine as Mary's gold will buy me.
Yes.
Ranting at the barman about
Being cockblocked.
yeah, and no, because she's sat right there, and there's a kid ranting about bards who don't perform. Never heard anything like it.
And he pats you in the. He can barely make out what you're saying because you're muttering, but he does cast the last bit and pats you in the back and says, "Never mind, young bard. It happens to us all eventually. It is only a phase. It will pass, I assure you. Perhaps you have been under a little too much stress recently."
Oh my god.
So.
Gobsmacked. You just gobsmacked.
As you head back to, there's a large stockyard. He's over here Large stalker, it's got locked shades along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate that leads into this area where you are now. It says Arasek Stockyard. Parked the. Nope, have I done that? Yeah, there's one main building in this area. You can see, similar to the Miners Exchange in Fandolin, this looks like more of a place where one would drop off and pick up large supplies of things rather than your average shop. But you can go in and see that they have certain things more poking out of boxes. You'll have candles in one box, but nothing's on display to look pretty. It's all just to be sold in bulk or to order. You walk in, there's a sturdy dwarven woman, or sturdy human woman standing behind the counter, moving things about, taking things from one box. Hello, yes, what can I do for you?
I need a new backpack.
I need some scraps.
And her sort of mouth flaps as this strange party comes in through the door. And yeah, get the PHB out. So when you're looking around, you can see that there are most of the basic things that a traveller would want. Yes, a backpack. I believe we can do that for you. One moment, I think. And she pulls out a book and begins like flicking through the pages. I believe. Yes, one moment, and I will bring you a selection. And she goes out to the back and comes back to the front and sets essentially what is a crate full of like backpacks and carryalls and like you can see that there's like some of them come with traveler's gear already in them. So how this works is you can essentially, if you look at the player's handbook, she has everything that is below a certain value in that. So, 148, page 148 if you've got your player's handbook there.
I'm going to ask her when she brings out the box for Dax, go through, ask her if she's got any scraps. I lost my whole. I need something to do with my hands, especially at night. Got nothing to do. And
she raises a knowing eyebrow.
Annoying? That like I'm annoying?
No, she raises a knowing eyebrow as you say that.
No, yes. And I said, I make little purses, I make little people. I need some. Well, I have my leatherworking tools. I just need some scraps.
And she says, I'm afraid we do not trade in scraps. This is not something that I have much request for. Perhaps if you speak to Blinsky, he's a doll maker, he will perhaps have some scraps that you can use.
You don't make anything from the.
No, we are a stockyard. We generally pick things up and send them on, but quite often they do not arrive or they do not need sent on.
I'm sorry, I heard stockyard and I thought stock. I thought you sold cattle. Okay.
We sell pretty much anything that will come through, but rarely do we get cattle of note.
Okay. Okay.
Animals do not thrive so well in Barovia.
Yeah, I understand that. Looking up at the birds. Okay.
So this backpack, have you chosen the one you would like, my friend? You can see her like taking Dax in, looking her up and down.
I think I'm going to leave. I'm sorry. I'm going to walk out.
Cool.
And leave Dax and Forgotten. Thank you. I can't remember your name. Leave them in the.
He can't remember it either.
Yeah.
We're calling him Tracy today.
Tracy, okay. All right, Tracy. I won't remember that.
As this exchange goes on, the woman behind the bar just like glances between you and not Tracy. Nods. The Forgotten. Not quite knowing what to make of him. So,
As I'm rifling through all of the bags, are there any golden ones?
There are no golden bags. No.
Balls.
Nope,
Are there
not
any
either.
that are colorful?
They're all
Um,
a mix between some ranging from Hessian sack with straps on to reasonably well made sort of leather satchels and everything in between.
um, I would like to go for a like darker colored, bigger-ish backpack. Like,
Yeah, you're able to find like a large leather satchel with a flap at the top and a drawstring that pulls it closed, and the flap flips over the top to keep the rain out. It's got a number of pockets on the side
Yeah.
and on the front.
yeah.
Yes. Aye, a fine. Oh, my room's falling apart. A fine choice. That will be 10 gold pieces.
Excellent. Also,
Which
before
Dax knows to be an absolutely extortionate price for this.
whatever. Also, do you happen to have anything better than this? And I put down my hand-painted golden heavy crossbow. That's definitely seen better days.
I am afraid not. That looks like a fine weapon. We do not trade in such fine things. It depends what you mean by better. I can sell you another crossbow or ammunition, but around here we do not go for such fanciful items. More practicality.
Okay. Well,
I would be happy to
you
take it off your hands or exchange it.
no, definitely not. But thank you anyways. And I put down 10 gold, but then quickly try to take back 5 gold and then leave.
Sleight of hand. Very, and you will know that this is a very difficult because she's standing in front of you and you're standing in front of her.
Yeah. Oh dear. 14.
She says, I will tell you what. How about I keep my backpack and you keep your gold? And you and your friends don't come here again, and I will not call the town guards. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Nope.
And she
I
slides
put down 10 gold.
She slides the gold back towards you and takes the satchel back and sticks it in the box.
No, nope, definitely need that. Sorry. Bad habit. My bad. Here, how about I give you 10 gold and
Your fine crossbow. And I do not call the guards.
No, how about I just give you 20 gold?
I can see you are. Persuasion check.
Oh god. Oh, 7.
How about you give me 25 gold and your fancy crossbow, and I do not call the guards. We are a small village. You are an interesting person. I do not like strangers around here, especially not strangers who do not look like us. You make us nervous, you understand, what with living in Barovia. So I think perhaps, let me see. Yes, 30 gold pieces and your shiny crossbow. And I do not call the guards. Or,
No.
I call the guards, and, well, I cannot say what they will do. Almost certainly that will be up to the burgomaster, and while he pretends to be a jovial man, I think Burgomaster Vargas is afraid as the rest of us, although I would not be heard saying it, of course, you understand. If you would like to take a trip past the town square, you will see that the stockade is quite often filled with strangers and people who try to, how do you say, take advantage of the town, or disagree with the burgomaster.
Well, I don't like any of those options, not gonna lie. How about I'll just leave. I'll just leave and I'll never come back. How about that?
Very well.
Okay.
I have a lot of runners in the town. They take boxes from one place to another. I will pass on your description. If any of them come back to me within the next 24 hours, saying they have seen such a creature as you, then I will let the town guard know what happened here today.
Great. And then I leave.
Excellent. And she puts her hand on the 5 gold that you left on the table and like slides it towards her and says, "Safe travels."
Yep. Bye.
So you lost
Now,
5 gold.
Yeah, sure
now that
did.
you are done extorting my friend, would you show me what items of uniqueness you have?
Now that your friend has finished to try to rob me, would you perhaps like to leave? I think your friend has spoken for you already.
Are you so sure that you do not want to take my money?
I will happily take your money, but I doubt that I would trust it after this. I have made 5 gold and lost nothing. I do not like to be associated with thieves. It would make my story that much harder to tell to the city guards whenever I say that I was robbed and then I continue to have dealings with these outsiders. Although saying that, you do not look as strange as your companions. What is it you seek?
I wish to know what items can be found here, but not anywhere else.
I am afraid that most items that I keep, even in the whole stockyard, are mundane. Perhaps taxidermy is something that you would not find elsewhere, but the tools of taxidermy are quite specialist. If you do not like to capture and stuff creatures, then they will be of little use to you.
Mary didn't see that.
Well, thank you for your time. I'll leave.
Very well. I would ask you that you tell your friend that I am as good as my word. You have 24 hours to leave the town. At which point I will alert the guards. Perhaps you will slip by unnoticed, but one of whatever she is, I fear she will be spotted at the next dawn. And she goes back to like just stuffing rucksacks back into the bag and like puts the lid back in the box.
While Forgotten was having that conversation and I was outside, I would get out my disguise kit and put a mustache on.
So you can see in the stockyard now that there's many warehouses that sort of line this. There's carts coming and going, one getting filled up and packing off, and another one comes in. Quite quiet for such a big, busy place, but there is some activity going on. It's not as quite brightly painted as the rest of the areas of Vallaki.
When I'm outside, I want to go like round the side of the building, so I'm not really seen. And I want to cast heat metal on the nails holding the wood together.
Okay.
I don't want it to actually burn, but I do want it to cast it so I can later on activate it.
Okay, you can cast it. You can find like a large square warehouse, 2-storied, and you're able to find a few old rusted nails that are sticking into it. That you can.
No, I want to cast it on that store.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, this is like a warehouse essentially. This is just the storefront in the warehouse. You suspect that most of her dealings are with people dropping off and delivering things rather than front of house face. From the boxes you've seen, perhaps someone like Forgotten wouldn't know this, but you suspect that the things that she sells are things that were just never collected. Not a store shop, more a store where things are kept and forgotten.
Would I notice Forgotten doing this?
Are you being discreet, or do you just walk straight out Forgotten and walk around the side?
No, I'm trying to be discreet doing it.
I think that's going to be hard. You're going to need to. Yeah, as they're walking away, I say roll stealth. It's going to be hard because you're in daylight. You're trying to avoid their gaze, but also the gaze of people that are coming and going.
And there's a lot of that.
No. You turn around and almost immediately. You step away and you notice that the air becomes a bit fresher around about you, Dax, and you glance back to see Forgotten, like looking like trying to look super casual as he stoops around the side of this warehouse. Disappears around the corner, unless you call out to him or stop him.
Yeah, if I see him going around a corner, I would probably go follow him.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Forgotten, you step around the corner, you manage to find a quiet spot around the back between this building and the next building, and you begin casting heat metal.
Yep.
Okay, you find a number of nails within the area that you can cast, and you're confident that your spells went off correctly, and they begin to feel a slight heat coming off them.
What are you doing?
As Dax steps up behind you.
Quiet. This may be something we need later on. A distraction of sorts, should we need it.
Okay, but you can ask me to help. I'm a lot better at sneaking than you are.
Ah, yes, but I doubt you can do what I can do. And with that, I casually walk back out into the crowds.
Now, did I find the toy store, the doll store?
Are you waiting for the rest? Are you waiting for the rest of the party, or are you?
Oh no, absolutely not. I left them.
So yeah, as you two sort of stood out, as you follow Forgotten out, you notice that Marielle, you've lost sight of Marielle. She is gone. Which is fine.
Yeah, well, I left as soon as they got in.
Yeah.
That whole, yeah.
Tracy, do you want to come to the toy store with me? I know I said I wasn't going to get anything for Pep, but I have to get something for Pep.
Maybe we will have better reception from this person.
Yeah,
Fine.
I'll try not to steal this time. But, those prices were ridiculous.
We were told in Barovia that prices here are not what they seem.
Well, not what there should be. They are what they seem. Extortionate.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have better luck with Toy Guy.
Toy Guy. So, as you head off back down the direction you came, the only other direction being back towards the gates, you realise that while you have a rough area, you do not know the precise location of the toy shop.
Yeah, but didn't they say that the market was there? See where I pinged?
That is the town square. He says it's all off there. I'm not sure he gave you specific directions.
Okay, well I'm gonna look down there. If I went the way you showed the dice, I'm now gonna head south.
So, well, you can choose which way to go. We'll say you're here now. I haven't come out of the
No,
stockyard.
that's okay. No, right away I'm gonna go this way. Cause I don't remember seeing the doll, a toy maker or a doll maker, like that lady said. Actually, I'm just looking for a doll maker.
Okay. So, Marielle, as you step into the town square, the shops and homes that includes the town square are decorated with these limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny, dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked into which are several men, women, and children wearing crude, plastered donkey heads. For anybody that's missing this, the stocks are with your head in your hands, clamped in as you stand behind them. In the centre of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing tall at the centre of the fountain is a grey statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. And signed, the Baron. These look like they're a little weathered, like they've been hanging here for some time. while other posts are more recent. Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year, the festival of the blazing sun. Attendants and children required, rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron, and this seems to be almost new, and it gives a date, which is 2 days from now.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Come one, come all to the festival of the.
Blazing sun.
Blazing.
I'm gonna try to do the what you call it next week. Festival of Blazing Sun.
And that is dated to be happening 2 days from now in the town.
Okay, I wonder if we'll be here. Oh, attendance is required.
Attendants and children required, rain or shine. All will be well, written in large letters underneath it. Signed, the Baron.
Ugh. I look at that and frown. And then I look at that. You said there was children in the stocks with donkey heads on them?
Yeah, men, women, and children, several of which have the donkey heads on them. And you can see now that there's a very small, maybe only half a foot off the ground, a platform with the stocks stand on, and a large bald-headed man stands up onto the platform and begins pacing back and forth across it. You can see he's large and muscular, although one of his arms appears to be like hidden behind a cloak tucked in.
He doesn't look familiar.
He does not look familiar. He looks intimidating and angry, but not at all familiar. In fact, I can show you a
He's
picture.
walking back and forth.
Yeah, he's just sort of pacing, doing the rounds, looking out as though this were a stage to people that are not gathered but that are passing by, and glances out.
Oh, his hands don't look human.
You do notice that he's got one arm hidden away, and the axe currently is across his back.
Okay. To
be exact,
one look
it's
at him.
3 men, 2 women, and 2 boys are trapped in the stocks. They all look tired, famished, and soaked.
Okay. Has that guy seen me?
He's just glancing around. He does sort of glance an eye over you and raise an eyebrow, and then goes around to. His eyes have a glare of the perceptive, but not necessarily the most intelligent. The word thug comes through your head.
Yeah. I'm going to, having totally sobered up, and forgotten
a sobering sight.
Yes, and forgotten the dollhouse. I'm going to continue on past the stocks without staring, or I'm going to stare as much as I can without moving my head.
Yeah.
Except I think I've seen enough.
The town square isn't busy, but you do pass other women and children that occasionally glance in the direction of the stocks, and some of them shake their head pityingly, and others, you manage to make me a perception check, actually. That you can tell.
Oops, I haven't even put up my character sheet yet. Whoops. Sorry, this is going to take a minute. Perception.
You can tell that most of the people are either that are passing by are either actively avoiding looking at this. They're scurrying by as though for fear that they will, out of instinct, glance in its direction and be seen doing so, and others are glancing, but only whenever this character, this large gentleman, has turned their back, and they took their head, they glance and look to the ground and shake their heads in pity.
Okay.
A couple of them also sort of see you looking as well, and they sort of purse their lips and look at the ground and shake their head as though Isn't
Mhm.
this awful?
I do not look at any of them. No. Once my back is to the guy,
Hmm.
I will not. I'm not shaking my head,
Hmm.
but I will look like I'll start to cry. I'm
Uh,
sad. I am so sad. I don't know if that's a performance check.
um,
But
yeah, if you're trying to achieve something with this, then yeah, make me a performance check. As you see, there's an elderly woman who's coming by with her hood drawn around her face and comes over and there, dear. There is little we can do for them now. They will only be there for some days, and then they will let them go. If there is any luck, they will let them go. With
thank you.
Lathander willing, I think they should not have opened their mouths. They know what the Baron is like.
Yes, so do I. And I'll thank you, mother. Thank you, old mother.
You're welcome. It is crazy what they do. Their crimes are not crimes at all. But that does not speak of it. We do not wish to end up there with them. Our old
Correct.
bones would not stand it.
No, it would not. No,
I'm
it would not.
standing there for 3 days straight. I'm not sure my bladder could stand it either, eh? She pats you on the shoulder and take
uh,
care, dear. Lathander be
you,
with you. And pats you on the shoulder and
you too. Go,
moves away.
go, protect you also.
And she looks at you confused for a moment and says, "Indeed." And shuffles off as Isaac turns round and begins
O'Neill,
strutting back in this way.
O'Neill be with you also.
As you
Okay.
move up and head out the other side of the town,
Mhm.
the other two party members, you enter at the one end of the square and just see Marielle disappearing out the other. Forgotten and Dax, you sort of come in this end and see Marielle just disappearing up out the other end. You manage to just catch her. Your attention is first caught by this grim scene of the stockades, and you manage to catch Marielle, the glint of her armor as she passes around the corner. Dax and Forgotten, what would you like to do?
I nudge Forgotten. What the fuck is this? And I point to the stalks. I hate this town. I hate this town so much.
Forgotten?
So much for being a safe place if they are putting children in stocks.
I feel like this town needs a change of pace.
There's the crowd of children that were at the well filling up their buckets and cups are passing by at this point, and they say, "Shh! Stop! Keep your voice down. Isaac will hear you."
Who's Isaac?
And they like glance and wait until he turns his back, and then like all of them all at once point at the big man. He works for the burgomaster. He's strange. He has a. Some say he is a monster. He does what the burgomaster asks. He is not. My mother says he is not all there. He taps his head, but that he has the best interest of the town. It is those foolish people's own fault. They should not have spoken out.
What did they do?
And they like look and check that this Isaac character's not coming back, and they all lean in, and almost at once they all say, "Malicious unhappiness."
Malicious unhappiness?
Yes, the burgomaster
What does
wishes
that
that.
even...
Burgomaster, ah, you are new here, and perhaps we are doing you a service to tell you. The burgomaster, he wishes us to be happy. If we are happy, it will keep the demons at bay, and keep the monsters from the walls. Only through positivity and happiness. That is why we have the festivals. We've just had the Wolf's Head Jamboree, and there is another one coming, but they're tiresome. Even the children do not want to participate. We are sick of them. You have a festival every week for years. It is no longer special. But no one can say anything for fear of being stuck in the stockades. And you can see some of the other children already becoming uncomfortable with this young boy that's telling you this. And come along, we've said too much. No, wait, they are strangers, they need to know. Malicious unhappiness is when you give in and say that things are not helping. There's no reason to be happy. Mother says that the burgomaster is only trying to help. But that's one of those boys, Ifan, he is my friend, and he's been there for 2 days now. He has soiled himself, and he wears the donkey head like a fool.
This is very upsetting. But thank you for the information. I appreciate your bravery. And I hand him a gold.
And he like glances at his friends, and they like shake their head. And no, thank you for your kindness, but we do not want to get in any further trouble. If you are here to visit,
Before you go,
yes.
This burgomaster. People, like, there's a lot of people that don't like him.
There's a lot of people who do not like his ways. It is hard. The adults, they whisper. Some say he is crazy. Others say he is only trying his best. But the happiness is fake. They come to the festivals and they sing and they cheer. But I do not believe there is happiness in their hearts.
Okay.
But if it is keeping the demons at bay, then what harm can it do? That is what Mother says. What harm can it do? We are lucky to be living in Vallaki. We have the wolves at the walls, but the Dark Lord, he leaves us alone. And the other children you can see now are slowly getting further away, and this boy's like glancing back as if he's about to be abandoned by them.
It's okay. Go join your friends.
Thank you. Take care. And he like turns and like runs up the road after them.
Tracy, this is fucked up.
There is something I might be able to do to lift the spirits, but it will only be temporary.
What do you mean?
This place could do with a bit of color.
Color?
Forgotten casts Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno.
Look around you. Look at all this, all their attempts to try and grow nice things and things like that. But nothing really grows here.
No.
I can help that, but it will not last forever.
You can see Forgotten and Dax, but Forgotten with just by your skills, you can see that it is layer upon layer of plants that have grown, thrive for a short time, and then died. You can almost count the layers in each window box of the generations of flowers that have been planted upon planted, to the point where they don't even take out the dead flowers; they simply seed new ones. So that there's a burst of color for a brief time before it falls away again. The moisture and in the air rotting the roots before things have a chance to thrive. The blotted out sun. And then similarly with the decorations, the bunting and the flags that are the tatters of fabric is in similar layers, where it seems to be, you can almost count the weeks that have passed since one layer was put up, and another one, and another one, and another one on top of it.
Oh, right. I mean, a little bit of color or happiness for a little bit is great, but I think this town needs more than a band-aid solution. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I should probably go catch up with Marielle.
Marielle has chosen to wander. Let her wander.
Okay, well, I still need to go get
You
Pimple
wanted to find a toy store. Let's find the toy store. Maybe we can find out more on the way.
Sounds good. While all of this is happening, I still have my mustache on, by the way.
So, Marielle, as we cut back to you and you pass up the street, you do indeed say there's a. You do indeed see there's a building with a large sign outside it that is hanging, and engraved on the sign, it looks like a standard lump of wood, but engraved in it in a fine crafted hand is the word Blinsky's Toys.
Blinsky. And I will go in.
The cramped shop has a dark entrance portico, and as you step into the inner area, there hangs another wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a bee engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are two arched, lead-framed windows, and through the dirty glass you see jumbled displays of toys hanging on placards. There's a hanging placard that has the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Yep.
Okay.
And as you step in and sort of take all this in, you can hear a pattering of footsteps behind you as your colleagues catch up with you. And I think we'll take a quick break there, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start drinking with Sarah. I'll be right. Well, let me turn off this. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in 5. And we're back as the party catches up with Marielle in the entryway to this toy shop.
As we're like just entering into the toy shop, it would kind of be like mid conversation, but I'd be like, so forgotten when you're bald, like you were a bald cat, are you also going to be a bald bear and bald wolf?
What do you think?
Yes.
Ugh, nobody wants to see a bald bear.
No.
Would not be nice. As you step in the door with this unusual conversation, you can see now that the walls in this establishment are lined with shelves, and around these shelves are dotted many a strange looking toy, for lack of a better word. All look finely crafted, but something about each of them just seems a little off. You see a headless doll that comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one with its eyes and mouth stitched shut. You see a miniature gallows complete with a trapdoor and a weighted hangman. A set of wooden nesting dolls. The smaller one each one gets, the older it gets, until the innermost doll is a mummified corpse, as well as various other pieces that you can look around. That's what you catch at a glance before you're met with this large bearded man stands up from behind the counter, almost unnoticed, and he's got a little doll in his
Scares
hand
the shit out of
that
me.
he's sewing together, and does indeed gives you a shock as he stands up and says, and I'll show you this man. Burp, burp, burp. Yes. Hello, welcome to Blinsky's Toys. I'm God of Blinsky. I'm a wizard of tiny wonders. Forgive me, I was not expecting visitors. You have come to purchase something for a loved one, a child. No, well, Blinsky is the man to come and see. Look at my wonders. I can create anything you wish if anything does not take your eye. Me and my little helper here, and as he says that, he looks, snap, where is my little helper? And a little monkey with a pink tutu jumps up onto his shoulder,
Oh my
and
god.
like begins like staring at the party, like tilting its head left and right. This is Piccolo. He is my friend. We have not been together too long. He was a gift from a friend of mine. He is my heart's truest desire. He helps me. He fetches things. So, you have a loved one, no, that you need something for. You tell me what you need, and if I do not have it, I will make it for you. A wizard of tiny wonders, I certainly am. You are you are new in town. I have not seen you before.
No.
Oh,
I love
forgive
your
me.
monkey.
Thank you, Piccolo. He is most useful.
Piccolo.
He's a little mischievous.
Mm-hmm. Who gave him to you?
A friend, a traveler, like I suspect you to be. A strange man, a well-dressed man, with
I
pointed
think we've
ears.
met him.
Pointed ears, not unlike yourself. He said I looked a little lonely, and perhaps I would like to take care of Piccolo.
Oh, that was so nice. His name was Rictavio, wasn't it?
Octavio, that is the name. I have not one for names, I'm afraid. It is
Yeah.
unusual when someone comes into the shop at all, but to offer me such a kindness. Piccolo has been a great boon to Gadov. Gadov has been lonely for a long time. It is a hard job trying to bring happiness to such a place as this,
I
but
understand that.
we must do what we can to bring a
How do
little
you
joy.
how do you bring a little joy with tortured dolls?
They are not tortured, they are, well, they say that children should play with things that they recognize, they understand. Perhaps it will take a little sting out of it. And not all my toys are as strange as what they may seem. For here, look here, for example, and he pulls out like a little toy that, like a little doll, and it looks for all the world like a little girl with long, sort of light, sort of dark brown hair, wearing like a high collared, for lack of a better word, like a little like leather armor of sorts, and has like a little sword stuck on her belt. And this is a little warrior. I make these for a customer of mine. He comes in, he likes them especially, and well, I was so taken with it. He was so exact and precise in the description that I thought I would make more of them.
take a close look at the doll and see if I recognize it.
Make me a. Oof, it's so tempting just to make Marielle make a history check about everything. Make me an insight check, Marielle. Or no, or perception. Whatever you prefer. Whatever's more beneficial to you. I'll let you make perception if that's more beneficial.
Insight. History is the most. Oh fuck! Excuse me.
Oh dear.
No. For a moment, as you take it, as he, please, please, and you take it from him, there's a wave of the familiar that comes over you.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you think about it, and as Marielle begins rummaging in her memories, she gets lost and realizes that there's something there that slipped her once again.
How much for this doll?
Well, for you, my first customer of the day, I will cost 1 copper piece. But tell your friends, yes, that to come to see old Gadolf if they need anything made for their children. There is so little joy in the world.
My jaw drops. 1 copper?
1 copper piece, but on the understanding that when others admire it, as I have no doubt they will, that they will be sent my way.
Absolutely, I will.
Remember, it's no fun, it's no Blinsky.
I look to see if he's serious. Are
Uh,
are you serious? What's that?
Insight check.
Yeah, oh, okay.
About the, are you serious
Never
as
mind.
in, are you asking him about, like, is he serious for the price, or is he
Is he
serious in
serious
general?
in
As a character?
general? Well, yeah. If there's some ulterior motive to wanting me to have, to selling it for 1 copper so that it will definitely be sold.
As you look around, you can see, right, make me an insight check and I'll tell you more.
Yeah.
As you can look around, you can see that there are little price tags hanging off some of these items round about. You can inspect
Uh-huh.
these items further and look. There's more items there that you can look into.
And what are the prices on them?
They're generally sort of between, the lowest you've seen is sort of 9 copper pieces. The upper end is maybe a silver piece for a particularly finely crafted doll. You do notice that there is one appears to be quite large, and it looks like what would be like a ventriloquist dummy, and immediately strikes out at you as looking like a almost designed and to look like Strahd von Zarevich, as it sits on the shelf with like this little jaw that sort of hangs open.
Ugh.
But the rest of them, a copper piece is not too far off what his normal prices are. He does, with a 20 insight, he does seem genuine in everything he's saying, everything he's trying to convey to you. He's genuinely surprised to see people coming into the shop. Everything he means about spreading joy and happiness seems sincere. He's bumbling with it. He's perhaps not the most, his craftsmanship, while, and Mario will know that his craftsmanship is good craftsmanship. You're looking for, as you examine this doll, you can't see the stitches. You can see that he's knitted every little coat separately and then turned it inside out, so all the stitches are hidden. It all looks finely made, and he does indeed seem genuine in what he's saying about the joy, his attempt to spread joy, and believes what he says when he says that he is the wizard of tiny wonders.
Okay. I will take the doll with the leather armor. I will ask how much the Strahd doll is.
Ah, yes, that is a strange one. It is. I try to only make things that people wish, but obviously every now and again inspiration overtakes me, and I was overtaken one night to create such a creature. I do not know where it came from. Puppetry is something that I have tried myself, but I do not have the skills for it. I will give it to you for one, well, 1 silver piece perhaps is a little much.
No, I don't think it is. And I hand him
Oh,
2 silver.
oh, that is most kind of you.
How can you make a living? You put so much work into these.
And he like looks.
Oh, I
Sorry.
forgot. The reason I'm here. I'm so sorry. And I say, and by the way, my name is Mary, and I put out my hand to shake.
And he reaches his hand back out. And Gadolf Blinsky, my lady.
Yes. Say, I'm a leather worker by trade, and I ran out without I've got my leather working tools, but I don't have any scraps to work with. I make small things that actually some of them might, like the leather armor on the doll, said, "This is the kind of thing that I do. You don't need any help, do you?"
And his
For a
eyes
day
light
or
up.
two.
His eyes light up, and he
Mm-hmm.
says, "Oh, another craftsperson. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
very fine to meet you." And he takes his hand out and shakes your hand even more firmly. And if your craftsmanship is as good as mine, then you are welcome to take what you wish. And he like lifts a little box up from behind the counter, and he's got like various little cut scraps, some half finished projects, things that you'll recognize as projects that have been half finished and then tossed to the side. You'll spot an errant stitch,
Mm-hmm.
something that's broken the seam. You're welcome to take what you wish. I'm afraid I do not need any help, and Gadolf does not get enough business, unfortunately, to warrant taking on an assistant. Not that you would be my assistant. We're equals, of course, but
I
I'm afraid that.
understand. That's okay, dear. That's okay.
Thank you for understanding. But again, if you want to tell your friends, those that have children, I would be most grateful for the custom.
I'm sorry, but I'm a little old for children. I never had any myself, and everyone I know is
Oh no,
grew all
forgive me.
grown.
I do not wish to be presumptuous, but perhaps you have, perhaps some of your quiet friends here. Hello, please step in, friends. And he sort of gestures to Dax and Forgotten. Perhaps
Kind of
you.
just look at the Strahd doll, like kind of furrowing my brow a little bit, looking at Mary, like, kind of why?
Wrap them up. I don't know. I wonder if, never, no. I'm going to shake my head and see you later.
Make me a
Mary.
perception
Eh?
check. Dax, make me a perception check.
Ooh. Natural 20.
Both.
27 total.
You notice from stepping up from behind, watching this conversation happening, that Marielle's got in one hand or under one arm, perhaps this creepy Strahd-like doll, and as you glance at it, you glance at the shelf behind her, and there's a little doll sitting that looks similar to the little one he's working on at the minute, and something familiar strikes over you about that doll as well. This doll looks remarkably, for however much a leather-faced doll can, like Irina. Something about the
That doll.
hair, the high collar, the set of her sort of armor.
That doll, and I point to it.
Ah,
Did
yes.
that one also just come to you as inspiration?
No, that was a special request by a client of mine. He's requested it a few times actually. Each time he goes away happy, but he comes back and he wants it a little bit more precise. Perhaps something in the change of the hair. That is what Gadolf Blinsky does. I'm happy to take commissions. I'm happy to adapt them to whatever your children need.
Okay. Who can I? Hi, I'm Dax.
Hi, it
By
is
the way.
nice to meet you, Dax.
You too. Charming shop you've got here.
Thank you. It's no fun. There's no Blinsky. And he smiles, a big, wide, genuine smile, and Piccolo goes.
I give him a double thumbs with a
He
seemingly
does.
genuine smile.
He awkwardly does double thumbs, and then the little monkey goes and does double thumbs too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he goes, quadruple thumbs, eh?
Quadruple thumbs. So that doll. Might I ask who requested it? It's seems so specific.
Yes, of course, I think it is, or perhaps no. Yes, I do not think there is need for confidentiality here. It is Isaac, the burgomaster's assistant.
Oh,
He was quite
that's
specific in this particular doll. He came in and we spent an evening describing it. He is a he is a strange one, is Isaac. Not
yeah,
not the
that's weird.
not he does not have the way with words. Description is not the things, but seemingly he is quite precise.
Hmm.
Perhaps it is
Do you
a
think he?
something from his childhood, a memory he has, seemingly.
Yeah, yeah, probably that. Um, it, are you going to be in bad favor if I buy the doll? I'm not going to lie, it looks quite similar to somebody that I know, and I'd kind of like to show them.
And his eyebrows go up. Similar to someone you know, I'm happy to even catch even an accidental likeness to someone. Thank you. That is a great compliment. These are only children's playthings, but I was
Yeah, of course,
I
of course,
I
of
have
course.
been I've spent a lot of time on it. Isaac is quite demanding as a client, and I have spent a lot of time on this. I was reluctant to make copies of it to sell to others, but I resolved myself to do so, and therefore I see no reason why you cannot take this one.
Great. How much for this fine work?
Mm.
Is that the one that he first showed me? Because I actually already bought it.
I would say that perhaps it is 10. No, that's 9 copper pieces.
Okay. I'm actually also looking for something for a friend of mine too, so we'll do double buying. It'll be great fun for everybody. I'm also looking for a toy for a little boy. He misses his family very much. He feels like he might be a little bit too big for toys now, but he definitely isn't. Do you have anything that
I'm gonna
something
nudge
that
Dax.
he would like? What?
I'm nudging Dax and go, what about making a doll of his mother for him?
Wouldn't that just make him really sad?
Boys
There's
are
only one way to do
boys
it.
are difficult. They like the swords and the strange things. The girl is happy with a doll. I fear sometimes that little girls do not always appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into such things. Yet if you give a boy a wooden sword with a little bit of red paint on the pommel, and they will play with it for days, if not longer. I have some mobiles that perhaps would interest your little friend. I am still learning my ways with such clockwork devices, but I have a couple of devices here that perhaps would strike interest in a young man.
Oh, I know. Goblins. Are you familiar with goblins?
I am familiar with such creatures, yes. I cannot say I have a toy that emulates them, but if you would like to take out a commission, I'm happy to help you.
How quickly could you make one?
Well, it is
Less than 24 hours?
perhaps if you. What is it you require? Something the size of the puppet or something the size of the doll?
Oh, just the size of the doll would be great.
Yes, perhaps
Like quite portable.
I have
We
not
move around a lot.
seen a goblin myself, but I'm sure that I've seen them in picture books. I'm sure I could do this a justice. Yes, tomorrow, if you'd like a little goblin, a little monster.
It maybe a little bit faster than tomorrow would be appreciated, and I'll make it
That
worth your
is,
time. I promise.
I will be as well, 24 hours just tomorrow, you understand. If you return this time tomorrow, I will, or perhaps I can have it by noon tomorrow, if you wish. It's not, I would rather my craftsmanship not be, I would not wish to send anyone away with something I have not put my heart into, you understand.
And I shake my head. No, no, you can't do that and say you're right. Don't substitute quantity for quality.
Perhaps I have something else here. And he pulls out like a wooden string mobile that, and he like pushes like a little plunger on top of it, and you can hear it like tick, 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 tick. And it's like a little wheel with strings hanging off it. And as he lets go of the plunger, tick, 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 and a lot of little bats begin to like flap their little wings and swing as they go around the There's this little sort of carousel swings. He also pulls out a little wind-up musical merry-go-round that he pulls out, and it's got like these. It's interspersed or alternating like children and wolves, and he winds it up, and as he sets it off, they begin to like bounce up and down as they circle, and it's as though the wolves are chasing these little children as they like cycle around it.
Oh, lovely.
Fuck, this toy store is so creepy. Those are really, really well done. Not as mobile as I'm hoping for. Damn it, goblin thing would have been really cool.
I do have a couple of wooden swords, or I'm sorry
Like,
to.
I mean,
I not wish to disappoint you. If you tell me and give me but a little time, I will try my best. I do not wish to sacrifice my craftsmanship for haste.
like, I mean, I really understand. The problem is that I'm not very well liked here right now. Like, I mean, I'm not going to be here in 24 hours. So it's not that I don't want the doll.
And I turn around and look at Dax like, huh?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Mary, about that.
You have
we got problems.
Yes. Perhaps if Gadolf is not being too forward, you have said something to upset Isaac or the burgomaster. You have been
nope.
maliciously
the wonderful
unhappy.
Lady at the stockyard. No, the stockyard lady. She doesn't like me at all.
Ah, yes. She is a difficult woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I order my. It is difficult to get leather in the colors that I require, and to bring the dyes in, even if I manage to find someone to sell me such dyes. It seems that the price I ask for them is not the price I end up paying for them. She is a
extortionate, right?
Extortionate is probably a fair question, but I am. Gadolf does not like to cause a scene. I take what I can get, and
nope.
As Marielle would attest here, that it is a wonder what you can do with the scraps of one project and make them into
I'm going to
something
say,
completely
what
new.
color dyes did you need?
Well, any colors I can get at all. It seems that whatever color dyes I put into things, the color does not last long. It seems to fade. I am not a. It is not my realm of expertise, and trying to gather the plants and regions to create such things is difficult in a place where nothing grows.
I'm going to say that I have a madder root, which will dye it red, in my bag, with my herbalism kit. That's not a rare. That's not a rare thing.
And his eyebrows go up, and he's, well, I will be happy to pay you for any dyes that you may have. It's one thing. It is hard to give a little girl a doll that isn't drab grays,
yes,
and browns.
I understand. Red's a good wake up color. I don't know if I have it. That's the only one I can think of that dyes anything. I'm not giving up any saffron threads. Oh, that's a beautiful color.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I was just like, since I'm a little time constrained. Scraps. You said that you have scraps. Would you be able to sell us like some green scraps and some like leather scraps? And then Mary, would you be able to make a droop doll for Pip?
I certainly can try. It won't be as good as Master Blinsky. It's right there on the sign. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Anyway, I can certainly try. I don't think it'll be Mr.
That's okay.
Blinsky's level. Okay.
I would love to get one from Gadolf, but I just like seriously, Mary, we don't have the time. We're
Okay,
fucked.
I think we need to. I think we
Maybe we
need to go
do.
back.
So,
And
But
I
we-
sigh.
I do not
and
wish
go.
to interrupt, friends. You are.
Yeah.
I do not get that much custom, but I recognize that you are from outside of town. No, you are here.
Outside, yes.
Are you perhaps one of the? Well, some of us are always outsiders. I've been here all my life, and I too am an outsider, it seems. But are you the one of these fabled adventurers that come through?
We've
Could
been called
be.
that.
Only, perhaps you might. Perhaps I do not wish to put upon you. I have perhaps something of a quest that you might undertake for me, if that is not too forthright.
No,
Oh,
would love to help you if the problems. I don't know if we can get back in.
Well, just give us the quest and we'll think about it and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Blinsky used to be. I am somewhat of a student of a great inventor and toy maker named Fritz von Werg.
Fritz von Borg.
Yes, he is a master toy maker and inventor. I have only read snippets of him here and there, but it seems that he has spent some time in Barovia and that, well, he has made a how do I say this? I work with the mechanical. My skills are with the needle and thread, but as you can see, some of my contraptions are getting quite good. I am able to make things that move on their own, things that work by clockwork. It is said that Master von Werg made a clockwork man that acts like as a man would. And if I could only meet it, or perhaps meet it is the wrong word, if I could only see it, examine it, perhaps it would give me some insights. The issue I'm having is that the legend says that it is in a place where Gadolf Blinsky cannot go. However, this is a place where it is said that all adventurers end up.
So where's
this
that? Place?
What?
You have heard of Castle Ravenloft, yes?
Oh, yes.
Seemingly it is there. Perhaps the master worked for the lord at some time. His father perhaps knew before Barovia was, as they say, as it is. Seemingly Master von Werg worked for the Baron, a true and good man, they say. I realize this is asking a lot, but should you be heading that way, then maybe you would keep an eye out for a clockwork man.
So, like you're wanting us to procure said clockwork man and bring it back here? Is that what I'm surmising?
I do not know what I am asking, for I have no way to pay for such a great wonder. But even if you could, to speak to someone who has laid eyes upon it, if you do come across it, if it still exists, make a mental note of just what it looked like, and describing it to me would be enough to.
I know exactly what you need to know from being a craftsman myself, and I certainly will. And we'll bring you back parts if that's all we can do. Or
schematics.
Yes. Yes, the plan might be good.
So you are.
Okay.
It is true what they say then. You are going to Castle. You are going to Castle Ravenloft.
No, not actually if we can help it, but we probably will end up there because things always turn out for the worst for us.
Well, I hope that is not the case, Marielle. It has been very kind to meet you, and You've done
Very
me.
nice meeting you too.
You have brought much sunlight into my little shop, and again, remember to tell your friends to come and see
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely.
I haven't paid for your doll yet. Here's
Um,
here's a silver. Oh, and scraps.
Oh.
Scraps, please.
You may take what you wish, and he like slides the box further across the counter of these. Like you can see that most of them are drabs, greys, and browns. Some of them have washed out colors. You can see a couple of them are like blues and greens. That the greatest color he's managed to get stuck, which is makes up his entire get up, his entire jester's hat, and so his own whole attire. It's the scraps that are cut off that. Marielle, you can see that there's some half-finished projects again that have been tossed aside for a bad stitch. Obviously keeps himself to a high standard.
Yes.
Slide the scraps box to Mary and be like, I don't know what you would need to make a goblin, so you do
Okay,
the
well, I'll take
choosing.
whatever I can figure.
Yeah, there's enough green in there that you can get a goblin skin.
Oh my god. Excuse me. Fire breath. We need to go talk with the rest of our party.
Yeah. We do.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you again before
I hope
we
to see
leave.
you again too. So thank you for coming. And remember, it's no fun. It's no Blinsky.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll give a smile.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh god.
I love how personable Dax is.
He was cute.
See you later, creepy.
I was surprised that you didn't try to steal his monkey, Dax. Piccolo.
Great name, by the way. Piccolo's
Yeah.
a great name.
Yeah, it is. I don't know that we can talk. I don't think that we should talk in the bar, but maybe we should get everybody together and take a walk or something.
So you've been wandering now, right now. There's evening's coming on.
Yeah,
The
I
bar?
want to get back quickly.
Yeah.
You're not far from the bar now, and as you head back.
Yeah.
At the bar, I have instigated a drinking game. Or have tried to instigate a drinking game.
Oh my.
So I've filled up my cup and I've turned round to Pip and Irina and said, try to play a game.
Oh, would I ever? I'd love to play a game, and Irina like turns around like a little bit. You can see she's a little bit bleary-eyed, but she's slowed down her drinking somewhat. Raises an eyebrow and says, "Very well, Odric. Tell me your game." Perhaps
Fine.
Gallus would like to join us to see. Well, how much liquor can you fit in that shiny armor of yours? Does it protect you
Okay.
from evil, or does it only protect you from, I don't know, yourself?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Excellent.
I-
Then perhaps
I
we
used
should
the protector already.
stop dirtying up the bar and take a table. Yes? And she like steps away from the bar. Come along, Pip, and she like picks him up and like throws him under one arm. Not under one arm, but she like picks him up and like throws as though he's like put his legs around her hips and he's like carrying her like in a maternal way, and sort of carries him over and plunks him down on a stool and sits down at the table. So, Odric, tell me about this game.
Right. Through the alphabet, we've got to go through and we've got to say an insult that begins with that letter. And if you can't think of one, you have to take a drink and then say one with the next letter, right? So you start with A, B, C, you know, the alphabet. Pip, this is a teachable moment.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'll
god,
start.
you're trying to corrupt that boy so bad. Imagine what it's going to feel like when she actually finally gets him back.
A, arsehole. Pip.
And Pip says, what is Pip? Wait a minute. Is Pip still just drinking lemonade? Can we just be clear about that?
Yeah, like lemonade or,
Yeah.
lemonade or milk. I haven't poured him wine. I've poured everyone else wine, and Pip's got his milk.
And Pip
or
goes,
whatever.
I think
And glances
Honey,
around.
he's the innkeeper's son. You think
Yeah,
he
he would
hasn't
have
heard?
heard some
Yeah,
filthy
yeah, yeah,
language.
He
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
knows more than we do.
Well, I don't know. I think his mother was quite protective of him, but there we are. He looks around the table and goes, uh, Baldy.
Good one.
Thank you.
That's a bad.
Gallus,
Irina?
it's your turn. Or
Gallus.
Irina, it's your turn.
Okay.
I'll go Gallus first, yeah. So
Okay.
I'm alternating with the NPCs.
C. Cur.
What?
Cur.
Sure.
C-U-R.
Yeah, it's a dog.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's not like.
And Pip looks confused for a minute, and Irina goes, I wish I had got C.
Right? everyone wants C, and we give it to this guy who comes up with cur.
No, cur is a good word. My father would often call people cur. You're obviously more civilized than you let on, Gallus. So that
Oh
makes
my God.
me. That makes D.
Yeah.
Let me see. D.
Hmm.
Oh, I cannot think. I perhaps.
Then drink.
I will take a drink then, I guess. And she like lifts her cup and like cans half the glass of wine and like unsteadily slams the mug down. So that is back to you then, Audric. No?
Yeah, D.
D.
Dickhead. I look at Gallus.
I do not know what that is.
Gallus looks back at Woodrick and is like, good one, good one.
What is a dickhead, Audric? Tell me, I've not heard this expression before.
It's very similar to an asshole.
Really?
You are strange people. Pip, I believe it is your turn. Irina looks like shakes her head and goes,
It's got E.
Egghead.
That's a good one for forgotten.
And he goes, and he's all pleased with himself. And then he takes a big drink of his. He takes a big tan of his lemonade and puts it on the table, like he's not really understood the game. All right, Gallus, you're on to G now.
No,
F.
Gee.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll go with the old classic. Fucker.
Fucker.
that's more like it.
You see Pep going, fucker. Fucker.
That's
Fucker,
Exactly.
fucker,
you
fucker.
fucker.
I can't
You
believe
fucker.
we're doing
he's
a
heard
session
Mary
on
say
different
that.
insults.
You fucker.
He's heard
You can,
Mary say
you,
that.
can, you can mix it up too. You can say, you stupid fucker.
Stupid fucker.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Erwin! You're a stupid fucker! And Erwin like looks like, what? Like just like, what? And Pep's like puffs his chest out and nods to Gallus, nods to Audric. Stupid fucker. You
good
can
job.
see he's doing that. He's had too much lemonade. He's like drunk on sugar at this point.
Oh my God.
Sugar high. Oh,
At this point, the door opens and the rest of the party return and they come in. The door opens and as the party step in, Dax, you just see one little finger being pointed at you and going, "Here, Dax, stupid fucker!" Just points at you.
I was gone for a couple hours. What the fuck?
And he just bursts out, like holding his belly and breaks out into laughter. Stupid fucker, stupid fucker. Oh, and there's Baldy, egghead. Look at the egghead. Hi, Marielle. Hey, Baldy. Come and play our game. Come and play our game.
Oh boy, what are we doing?
We need to chat.
We're playing a drinking game. We got to finish first. We're on G.
Right, we're on
Think of an
G.
insult beginning with G, Mary.
I
Mary.
think
Insult beginning with G. Go.
Pip should not be left with Audric
Go.
ever again.
Shut up, Baldy. Marielle, G. Go. Insult
Goat.
beginning with G.
Goat.
Goat.
You old goat. You stinky, smelly goat.
Okay, yes, that's good. Yes, goat, we'll stay. Audric, is that okay? Goat? Is that an
Yes,
insult?
yes.
I quite like
Oh.
goats.
Double thumbs.
Double thumbs. Right. What comes after G, Audric?
H.
H, it is H. I'm glad you say the alphabet in your head as well.
Who's up for H?
Dax. Dax, H. Go. Your turn. That doesn't begin with H.
Heckin' sugar nuts.
Dax takes a drink. Smelly
That
man.
kind of sounds like a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to the bar and ask the barman for a big bucket of water.
And he looks at you. He looks at you and then goes. I think you'll find there is ample cleaning facilities in your room, stranger. I assume you have rented a room with. I'm not sure we have been introduced. I am Erwin. You are staying with these newcomers, are you not?
Hey, I'm Dax. That's Tracy. That's Mary.
Ah, Tracy. They did not mention there was a fifth, but you are welcome. There is ample washing facilities in your room. I'm afraid we do not give out buckets of water across the bar.
Forgotten. Your turn. I. Go. Insult.
Oh man, I's an easy one.
I.
You are an imbecile.
Nice. Yes. Gallus. J.
Pip.
I'm going to go upstairs and grab a bucket of water.
Okay, go upstairs. You can find a heavy porcelain bowl that's part of a table, and then you can find a jug of water sitting on one of them. And again, as you walk by, these two fur-clad men watch you as you go up the stairs and sort of sniff at you again, openly glare. Gallus, it's your turn. Oi.
J.
Jay.
J.
Jay. Oi.
Hey. I'll take a drink.
Yeah. Gallus loses. Who's next? Audric. Who's next? It's you, Audric.
Irina.
Irina. You need to do
K.
what L. Oh, K. K.
Which is
No, it's still
almost
J, isn't it?
C.
Yeah.
And Irina looks at Gallus, and as he raises his glass, she raises hers and chings him with it. There are no insults that begin with K.
Cunt!
Knucklehead.
Yeah.
And she takes her drink and says, "These are not words I know." Audric, I believe it is your turn.
L.
Surely a bard has plenty of words what to impress a room.
Yes.
Come on, Audric.
Loser.
Don't be...
You want me to do K? I'll
Well.
do jerk.
You can do L.
Knobhead.
If you can do...
Jerk. Knobhead. Loser.
Knob is spelled with an N, you fool.
Nerd.
That's not an insult. Or I
I'm gonna
resemble
come back
that
up with a
remark.
drink of water to
Yeah.
see this all going on, and I just chuck it straight away.
Nincompoop.
Wait.
Nincompoop.
As you approach with the jug of water, Erwin gives you an eye. I'm like, wait, my friend, those need to stay in the room. Where are you going with that?
I just ignore him and launch it over Audric.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We missed out M. We missed out M. That's moron.
As Audric
Yep.
is saying M, suddenly you're doused with a lot of water. You have a heavy jug of water tipped over the top of you, and Erwin leans across the bar and says, "Right, I do not know who you are, stranger, but you are out. We do not throw liquid around the bar. Perhaps if you
Thank
spill
you.
something, you are forgiven, but I'm sorry, friends, but you're a new stranger. I am not even sure how you got in here. He needs to leave.
Pretty moronic move. for
I'm just
Cotton.
gonna ignore him and look at Audric and go, "Sober up, you fool! Look at what you are teaching the boy."
I will not ask you again, friend. This is my bar. You must leave now, or I will call the town guards.
I'm gonna turn and snarl at the owner and go, "I heard you the first time. I will leave when I am ready."
And he glances
Oh.
over. He glances over towards the two men at the north, and
Faith,
they slide there. They like grab the table in front of them and like slide it across the floor. One of them pulls a
and
heavy axe off his back, and the other one pulls off a bow. And Erwin raises his hand. Wait, gentlemen. I think perhaps our friend here has made a mistake, or perhaps his friends have. I think he will just be leaving. Or he
that
can
would be
spend
nice.
a few weeks in the stockades, if the burgomaster sees fit to let him live. I do not know who you are, my strange friend, but I suggest you change your attitude. We do not like strangers around here, although I personally prefer to be as welcoming as I can. I will ask you again to leave. While I am happy to have you go and your friends stay, as they are friends of Rectavio, I'm not sure the burgomaster will see it the same, and you might find yourself and your companions here in the stockades faster than you can think. Now, was it to be?
Um, we need to speak all. Um, let's go outside for a moment. We might be back in to pick up our stuff and leave. I turn to the bartender.
And
So we need
you're interrupted by him saying, "No, wait! This is my bar." And then the two men that are like at the end of the room begin like drawing their weapons and moving towards the party. You will wait,
I'll
or you will face the burgomaster also. You know the
I'll
rules.
I'll stand up. I'll say, Herbal, you asked me to get my companions to go on a small errand for you,
you
uh,
can't do that.
and we won't be able to do that if
That
we're
I
separated.
think that was a,
Just
a private conversation we were having.
yeah,
I have not
I,
forgotten it, but it is not
I
something to be discussed in the open.
I'm just saying it's an errand. That's all I'll say. But what I'm telling you is that we won't be able to do it if we're all separated. So if you'd please, my companion here will bite his tongue, and Gaddis will like stare daggers at Forgotten. Will bite his tongue and cause no more trouble. Just please continue the kindness you've already shown us. I would greatly appreciate it. And my apologies for any insults so far.
He looks between these two gentlemen in the north and you and Forgotten. Make me a persuasion check, please. He is, you can see him sort of ruminating on it, and he says, if the burgomaster finds out we are bringing trouble, we will all be out. But I will give him one more chance. As you are friend of Rectavio's, and this man is friend of yours, but no more throwing things about the bar. That is how trouble starts. We will all end up in the stockades. I will leave it to you, Gallus. If he causes trouble again, I will pass him into your hands. And on your
So
head be it. Very well. I think everybody needs to calm down and sit down.
I'm calm.
You're
I'm
drunk.
wet.
You're wet.
But I'm
Audric,
calm.
you are
I'm
drunk.
also calm and
And you were
just
wet when you
mentally
walked in.
exhausted at this point.
I would have to agree with Mary. We have things to talk about.
Let's retire to the room to talk then.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yes, and
Uh,
might I also add,
Irina, you two.
gentlemen, I have seen this before. Whatever you two are coming to blows about or arguing over, it is not worth it. You appear to be friends, and you are turning on each other over a girl. I would suggest you change your attitudes, or come to some sort of arrangement, perhaps.
I look at him and look and see who he's talking to.
Say-
Audric and Gallus.
Gallus
Oh.
is just as confused. He's like taken aback almost. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Orifice.
I don't think orifice is an in
Pecker.
zone.
It
I'm not
could
s-
be.
Pecker.
This is why you're not a bard.
Penis.
True.
Pecker. Peckerhead.
Pecker. Pillock.
Yep. Tillich.
Pocked face.
Your pie hole.
Erwin just like crosses his arms and like stares at the party, shaking his head, and you can see the two hunters are like looking at each other like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And they both like sit down and slide the table back to themselves again, and they're like, most of the bar, like a woman gets up and like quickly scuttles towards the door and gets out. I think this like
Up
shaking
we
his
go.
head.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think
up we,
I think
up we
it is
go.
time at the bar.
Q.
Irina, we need
Quinn.
to talk to you too, please.
Yes, Irina, I think you need to come with us.
And as
For a
as you
minute.
get up the stairs, and Audric tailing behind, Erwin says, "Hey, Audric, rapscallion. It is a word I like."
Good one, you rascal.
Q.
Ah, that is another good one.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Querulous. Querulous.
Querulous?
Q-U-E-R. Yeah.
Quasimodo for Q.
Quasimodo doesn't make sense in this setting because no one knows who Quasimodo is. There are no French chapels here.
Yeah, I know what Quasimodo is, though.
Yeah, but
What about
he doesn't exist in Forgotten Realms.
But he's not just a person. Like, isn't Quasimodo like actually mean like disfigured and stuff like that?
Yep.
Does it? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why Frollo named him that, because he was so like.
And then there's the obvious one, but a bit of an unpleasant one with the current
Oops.
times of
Oh,
calling someone
well,
a queer.
quivering quim?
Hey.
Yeah,
Is-
much better than
Is that an
querulous.
is that an insult?
Querulous.
I mean,
If
like-
sugar nuts is an insult, then quivering quim is an insult.
Covering crime is an insult or an aspiration.
Quit being
Depends on your perspective.
querulous.
And
Tasty
as this
cat.
argument goes on, as the party
Wasp.
ascend the stairs, the bar, the few remaining people in the bar look at each other in confusion, not really sure what's happened. Erwin sort of lets out a belly laugh and shakes his head as you make your way upstairs to your rooms. You have shared rooms, but you have a couple of rooms between you, but you're shared a gather in one room if you so wish.
Yes.
I'm gonna
So-
scoop out the. Now I'm really wet. I'm gonna start scooping out the oats that I had in my pocket.
Oh.
And I'm gonna start putting them on my face.
Oh.
I can't let a good face mask go to waste.
That's right. That's a wonderful face mask.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's like
That's so
there's
disturbing.
bits of like lint, pocket lint and stuff. So drunken Audric's just like slapping this on his face, and it's got like pocket lint and all sorts. There's like there's a copper piece stuck over one of his cheeks, and
I don't have any money. All of my money is on the donkey, so I have no copper pieces.
then it's a gummy bear,
A gummy bear.
a mysterious gummy bear that you know not where you got it from. Like all good pockets.
Mhm.
And with that, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to try and get some semblance of normality back in your brains as characters and as people. And we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, let's play some D&D.
All
Alright.
right.
I'll be right back. I might be a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but continue without me. It's okay.
That's
I'm
cool.
just I'm going to the shop, so.
Cool, no
Mm.
bother.
Run, Forrest, run!
He needs to get something to drink.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that
He's went. Sarah's pissed. If I'm gonna go up against her, I need to have beer. Right, I'll see you in 5.
internets.
And we're back. What was that?
Oh, what? I didn't say anything.
The sugar nuts is now my favourite compliment. It's not an insult. That's
Oh,
a
please.
compliment.
It sounds like something, what do you call it, Mel Gibson would call someone for stopping him.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Poor Simon.
my little... What's Paul Simon got to do with this?
Poor Simon, not Paul Simon, you bellend.
Hi, Simon.
I'm not anywhere near Simon. Simon's horrifically drunk. He's eaten an entire pizza and an entire Easter egg, and he's just on the sofa, like stroking his stomach.
Nice.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
He's so hammered. He went out for a 30k run this morning, and he by accident because he got lost, and he's ruined.
Oh my!
And I've done nothing but play D&D all day and just not give a shit. Like, bought this on
Hey,
yourself,
we all gotta have our hobbies though, right?
Yeah. It's your own fault, sugar nuts.
Yep. As Sarah clambers in bed beside him and he goes, "What's the matter, babe?" Fucking Gallus, man. Fucking Gallus. Why did you... Simon, I just want her to kiss me, and there she is. Kiss. With that fucking dragon, man.
Can I call you Irina?
Can I call you Irina? Yeah.
Oh
Can I call? What's your racist Transylvanian / Russian accent sound like?
Oh my god, it would be so good.
Right, all right, Sarah, calm down. Maybe I should stop. I'm gonna stop and restart the recording because we're all getting an insight that we didn't need.
No,
Well,
he just has very good accents.
Well, they do say D&D is a way to vent things that we otherwise keep to ourselves. So, as the rest of the party reconvene upstairs, how would you like to proceed?
Yes.
Or should we send another session in this bar?
No, upstairs.
I don't think
definitely
we
upstairs.
can.
Go upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to assign bunks.
No,
Well,
I don't think we can stay
let
here.
everyone in on what's happened.
Assume bunks have been already assigned. Rooms have been taken.
Yes.
How would you like to proceed? It is coming on now to late evening. You've been in Vallaki for exactly less than 1 day.
How much we can do in 1 day.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And the wake of chaos that pursues you is fast approaching.
Yes.
Guys,
Should we go up? Are we going to go up into a room, or are we going to go outside
We're
and talk?
already there.
Go open at the rooms, yeah.
Rooms.
Where were the rooms?
Upstairs.
Where are you all going?
In your mind.
Oh god.
The rooms are in your mind.
Okay,
Yeah, do we need a map for a room?
So we have a little bit of an issue.
Well,
I have
think
several issues.
I think it's more than that, Dax. Hold on. Maybe you don't have to go into that, possibly. And I'll kind of wink if I can. Turn around and wink at her. And I'm going to say, they put people in the stocks for very little reason. And they make people be happy. And it's really, really creepy. And they put people in stocks for being different. And which we are, strangers to the town, are usually met with stocks. So I have the feeling that if we don't get the fuck out of here pretty quick, we're going to end up in stocks, and it's not fun. It does not look fun at all.
Yeah.
Twice so far we've been told that we will end up in the stocks, and the town burgomaster will not take a liking to us.
What
But
did
the
you
reason
do?
for that, I like, I will raise a hand to high five Audric there.
4. Oh, that's okay. I didn't understand that, but
Yeah, Audric
can
just
go
patched
over
the
my
high
head.
five.
Oof.
So I think and I said, Irina, I don't know if you're safe, if you're going to be safe here.
Yeah, and Dex throws down the Irina doll.
And
Yeah.
Irina like scoffs when Mariel says that. Irina scoffs and I will be safe nowhere. And then she like as the doll hits the bed beside her, she's, what is this? Where did you find this?
Was a commission by this creepy fuck near the stocks.
Who's in
Creepy.
charge of all
cre-
the people there? Creepy fucker. Creepy.
Ugh. This is why I do not
It's
want to
like-
come here. Isaac. You speak of Isaac.
Yes. You know of him.
I have not. Well, I have met him once. He came to Barovia. He is. He works for the burgomaster here. He is obsessed.
Yes.
He sends me. He has sent me letters. They are unreadable. He can barely hold a quill by the looks of it. He's
By the
obsessed.
looks of it,
Burgomaster
that's
does
hold
the
with
whoppers. Because I could really go for a whopper right now.
That is a terrible
Nice.
joke.
That was a great joke.
Isaac seems to think we are to be together. We are destined in some way. If only I would give him a chance. He is a monster. Can barely
yes.
string a sentence together. I have never met him, but I do not wish to.
I don't blame you.
And now he has these dolls, this creepy fuck you speak of. That is a strange name to begin with. Now he is making dolls of people at the request of others.
Yes.
I should not have come here.
No. Probably not. And we need to get out, and I think before tonight.
Uh-huh.
No, I think we will leave in the morning. The morning, if we leave
You
tonight,
can do whatever the fuck you want.
if we
It's
leave
got nothing
tonight,
to
we
do with
might
me
run
anymore.
into the wolves that they so hunt at night.
I
You
really
have-
need to dry off.
You have lots of things to do here. Can't just be abandoning a town because we might get into trouble. We can just be on good behavior for once,
Mm,
perhaps.
No, we can't. It's too late for that.
No, we can't.
It's
It's too late for that. We've already been
What did you
told.
do?
I didn't do anything, and don't worry about it. It was just one of those things.
So I went to go buy a new backpack because somebody made mine really smelly. And then the lady was gonna charge me an extortionate money, and I tried to take back half of the money and leave, and she noticed, and she says if I don't leave the town,
Yeah.
stock.
Okay.
Can I see your bag a minute, Dax?
Uh-huh.
And I take her bag and I look around and make sure no one's looking. Is there anyone nearby?
Everyone's nearby and they're all looking at you because you're all sitting in the same room having this conversation.
Are we in a private room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no one else
Yeah.
outside the party. Yeah.
Okay, I cast
Presto.
Presto.
Press the
Hey,
Jesus.
Presto!
Press the Jesus station on it.
Clean her bag for her.
Pring. The bag looks immaculate.
Wow,
Oh,
that
thank
is
you.
brilliant.
It
Really cool.
It smells like fresh needlework and newly cut leather.
I give Audrey a really big hug and be like, "Thank you, you're the best."
I've got porridge on my face and I'm soaking wet.
Yep.
Yep. And you get
Apparently-
a Goliath hug.
So now you've got porridge on you and
Yep.
a slightly damp.
If we leave tonight, we will likely be caught up in the hunts of the wolves.
Irina,
best to leave
who's
in the
been sort
morning.
of lying on the bed, like staring at the roof, sits up and I do not wish to leave. I think I wish to stay here, at least for a short time. I cannot.
Why is
Well,
that?
that's your prerogative.
I cannot abandon. Understand, Dax. If it were my decision, I would stay with the group. I would come with you. I do not wish to be a prisoner again, even one of my own making. But I must. I cannot. I cannot leave as soon as Ismark does. I must, whether I like it or not, at least honor my father's wishes. For how long I do not know, but I think I will stay here and investigate further. Where would I go? I wish
Yeah,
to
I
come
don't
with the
know.
group. I wish to stay with you, but that seems foolish, childish. I think I need time to gather my thoughts. I've never had this much freedom before. I would be happy to stay here, and if you wish, I will look after Pip for a short while. Otherwise, I think I will. I trust Erwin. I think he is a
Why
good
do you
man.
trust Erwin?
My father, when he sent me here, when he spoke of me coming here, he told me of Erwin. He said that there are few people in Barovia that you can be sure do not work for the Dark Lord, but Erwin and his family were one of them. He would say little more than that, but
Good to know.
seemingly I do not want to. Ismark is a difficult man, but he is honest, and I would not do him a disservice by running out the door as soon as his back is turned. I would not be surprised if we wake in the morning to find him at the entrance to this place.
Huh? Who?
Ismark. I do not believe that he has gone. I hope
Yeah, I
that he
thought it
has.
was kind of weird that he said he was going to go that quick.
He is a difficult man. He is pulled in many directions. But perhaps traveling with this group has made him see how to prioritize things. So I do not want to infringe on whatever decision you have to make, whether you stay or go, but know that I will be staying here for a few days at least.
Okay.
And then I will, when I have for the first time to myself to make my own decisions, then perhaps I will be in a better place to make those decisions.
You want to stay at the inn or at the whatever that place was?
I will be staying at the inn for now.
Okay.
If Isaac is here, I do not want to meet him. And
He is here.
I do not
I've
wish to.
seen him. And I'll tell the guys that was the name of the big guy that the lady told me.
We had a conversation with some kids.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do not wish to interrupt. I just want to let you know that is my decision, and it sort of glances at Audric and Gallus, and it is my decision to make.
And I'll respect that. Will you be seeing Father Lucian tomorrow, or is that not of interest to you?
I think I must speak to Father Lucian. Of the few people,
Okay.
Erwan and Father Lucian were the two people I could trust, but I do not want to find myself in another scenario where men are trying to tell me how to be a good girl and be safe.
Absolutely. Would you like us to, or one of us, or all of us to accompany you?
I
Can
think
someone
perhaps
disguise me?
you need to decide where you're going tomorrow, and then if our paths align, then perhaps I will come with you. And she sits up in the bed and sits back and like folds her arms and like as if she's waiting to see what you guys are, what your decision's gonna be. But
Okay.
do not base your future on mine. I claim it for my own.
Good girl.
So Rictavio also mentioned that he's a good clue towards one of the card readings that we received from Madame Eva.
He told us he would tell us that in the morning.
Well, was it in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, either way, so we have to do that.
You have to be here for him to tell us the clue.
Well, he has to tell us about it for
Right.
sure. What else do we have to do here?
I can help if you'd like.
Well,
Like, I mean, we don't technically have to talk to Father. What's his nuts?
Yep.
Well, talking to Father Lucian may grant you, if you've gotten yourself in bad water with some random merchant, talking to Father Lucian may grant us some stay in this town. If
Maybe, but like he
they
doesn't
said
know
that,
any.
they said that he has something that needs to be taken care of, and if we're acting on his will, town guard might look more favorably upon what he wants rather than some random merchant.
That's true.
I am going to suggest that if we keep the town supplied in wine, that is also a considerable notch in our
Yes.
on our belts.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Do we
Mhm.
want to do things for this town though?
Why not?
We've come in and basically been
Because he's going to
harassed
fuck it up.
We haven't been harassed. All the
Right.
all the troubles appear to have been started by this group,
Yes.
by my reckoning, anyway.
I agree.
But like, I mean, 10 gold for a backpack is ridiculous.
Well, if you agreed to it and then tried to renege, I can't fault that merchant. To be fair.
Irina sits up in the bed and says, again, I do not wish to be a factor in your decision making, but these people are afraid. As afraid as they are in Barovia. They do not wish, they do not know what to believe. They have been raised here, so it is perhaps more normal to them than it is to you, but I've heard stories of this burgomaster. I do not know what to believe, but he holds these festivals in an attempt to keep spirits high, to raise them up, and in some hope that joy will keep the darkness at bay. I do not believe that will work myself, and I see little joy here, but
Enforced hilarity is not real.
I agree.
It doesn't work.
I agree, Marielle, but when you have little other choice, what would you do? If you were... And you can see now, she glances over at Pip, who's like lying on the bed beside her and like already like beginning to nod off. And she drops her voice a bit and says, if you were had your child in a place like this, would you not want to at least bring them some happiness? Whether it is true or not, what the burgomaster intends, whether he believes this or not, I do not know that it is a worse thing than what is happening where I come from in Barovia. Letting the misery consume you. What is the point? I watch them through the cracks in the windows and the boards, going about their daily lives, and what is the point? I
Good
would
question. I don't
rather
know.
succumb than live like that again.
Okay.
But I do not want to influence your decision, but you need to understand these people are... It's a hard life they live. I do not know what it's like where you come from. But I suspect that misery is not all that there is.
No.
But there are good people here. My father was one. His mark for his failings is one.
It's marked 10. No, we want to twat.
Yes.
Erwin is one, I believe. Father Lucian, my father said, was a good man, but they are all fighting their own fights. It is hard
Shall
for a
we
good band to be happy here.
Shall we sleep and see what tomorrow brings?
Tomorrow is a big day, so
Can
Okay.
Audric, can you disguise me? And I point to my mustache. I don't think this will do.
Bear with me.
Like, not right now, like tomorrow.
Like sleep in the same room so that if somebody comes crashing in the middle of the night, you can do it right then.
Okay, out of character. The rules as written say you make yourself look different.
Oh.
It doesn't say another creature.
But you have a disguise kit, though.
I do have a disguise kit.
My disguise kit's just mustaches.
You're
So-
still gonna look like an incredibly
Green.
tall and grey tattooed woman. This is why I wanted to
You've got tattoos. How come
Talk
I've
to-
never seen them?
talk to Victavio, because then we could kind of
could we not invisibility make Dax invisible until the church, and then once we if we agree to whatever Father Lucian wants us to do, again we may have to stay on the city at that point.
yeah, it lasts for an hour. So not like it doesn't give us much time
It's-
in the
it's-
morning to do
it's-
anything.
Only for
But
us to
it's-
walk over to the church.
It's more than we would have. It's worth a shot. It's for I'm thinking about it.
It wouldn't take us more than an hour to get to the church, right? So
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I can disguise you. How tall are you? Like 7 foot?
6'9", yeah.
That's kind of like a super tall human. Like it's not out the
Yeah. And
realms of possibility.
she's like quite thin for a Goliath. Like she's more lithe than like a Goliath would be. She's not super bulky.
Can
Like, she's
disguise you with a
fit.
lamppost.
Sorry?
Can disguise you with a lamppost.
Yes, exactly. So it's like she's super fit, but she's not like bulky like most Goliaths
She's
are.
leath.
There's a couple of things I might be able to do. I guess then.
It's like maybe just a cloak, but I'm really worried about these guards.
Well, we do what we can because we must.
I could just try sneaking my way there.
Let's sleep.
Okay.
I think the invisibility was a great idea,
Mm-hmm.
but
Don't
that's
want you
up to
wasting your power for something.
I've got other stuff as well. I got plenty of tricks up my sleeve.
I'm sure you do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I guess sleep.
as you have 2 rooms between you, would you like to split off into separate rooms, or are you all just gonna bunk down in this one room?
I think
Aye.
I'll just bunk down.
Bunk down.
I'll go in the next room.
I'm gonna go in the next room.
Shuffle off into the next room. It's much like this one, appointed for guests, but nothing mind-blowing, nothing too fancy that you haven't seen before. A tattered rug on the floor and a cupboard and a chest of drawers, a water jug and bowl. As you all fall in, the tiredness overtakes you. and you fall asleep. Another
During the-
restless.
During the
Alright.
night, I'm gonna wake up and give Dax a nudge.
What?
And I'm gonna whisper
What?
to her, it's time for redecorating.
Okay.
You grab
Pick
the
it up.
heads, and I'll go
Uh,
scout ahead. And with that,
okay.
I'm gonna turn into the cat form
Yep.
and skulk out to see if anyone's around.
Yeah, you leave the room into a long, empty corridor that looks down over the bar. And
Can I see or hear anyone? Or is it completely quiet?
roll me a perception check.
Perception. When I find it, perception. There we are.
You can hear like a
22.
little, like a something rattling against wood. And Dax is with you, so I'll take Dax with you. So you guys should be able to see where you are now on the landing overlooking the bar, looking down now into darkness. You can see the flicker of a single candle coming from the far end of the bar. And you can hear this. Can you see Dax?
Yeah, putting my goggles on, and if I look over the railing, can I see what's happening?
Perception check.
Oh boy. Okay.
You see,
Perception.
Forgotten, you see her
17.
slipping these goggles down over her head. And you look down, you look into the darkness, and you can just see like what appears to be a raven sitting at the far end of the bar. The opposite end from the candle, so the top end. And it just like cocks side eye at you. And just like glances at you and it's like holding on to the end of the bar and it's shifting. And it's glancing up to where you are. You don't know whether it's caught sight of you yet, but it's a single raven bobbing up and down the bar.
Oh god. I just look at Cat Forgotten and be like, it's a raven.
I'm gonna launch myself at the raven to try and catch it.
So it's below you on the bar. All you can do is sort of point to it. You're gonna need to jump down and then go for it.
No, I'll leave it, and I'm just gonna skulk down the stairs.
Okay. Make me a stealth check then.
I'm following as well.
Stealth checks.
Ha 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 ha. 28.
Okay. So you both skulk down the stairs. You may tokens free. You may move your tokens.
I guess Forgotten was going first.
I'm down to an empty bar. The smell of slightly stale wine, but it looks like everything's been cleaned up. Tables have been wiped and polished. From where you are, you can see with your goggles and night vision the ravens now sitting in the bar, like still between looking at the stairs and looking up. It seems to know something's going on, but is not quite sure what. You now Forgotten are struggling to see. As you dip down into the darkness, you can just see the flicker of light from this one candle. There's not enough to illumine the room.
Yeah.
Looking up around the room, how high are the wolf's heads?
Easily enough within reach of you.
Okay. I'm gonna start taking them down.
Okay, make me a sleight of hand for the first couple. Forgotten, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna keep watch at the moment. particularly on the raven to see what it's making sure it's not doing anything.
You're struggling to see the raven. All you got every now and again is the glint off its eye. You manage to Dax lift the first one. You're finding it hard to discern how it's attached to the wall, but you do manage to. And even with your great strength, this is quite a large thing. It's the width of its head is as broad as your chest. As you realize that if you push it up, it comes off the wall. And as you hear that little, you hear the of the raven. You freeze for a second, but hear nothing further. You manage to lower it down to yourself. What are you doing with the one you've got as you go for the next one?
I will just place it down on one of the tables and then go for the next one.
Okay, easy enough to get the next one off. Same method. Slightly less heavy this time. You take it off the wall.
How many are there?
All together around the room, at least 8 or 9. We'll say 8.
Oh my god.
Forgotten. You see Dax sort of skulking off into the darkness. So the candle illuminates the lower end of the bar down here. I'm gonna move you down actually, so you can see better where you are. But again, this is in darkness.
Is there any like open windows or anything?
No. Windows are. You know where the windows are, but they are curtained.
I'll go for the third one.
Okay.
I'm gonna move between the tables and chairs, keeping under them, and head for the front door.
Okay. Make me as soon as you leave the bottom of the stairs, already you're in darkness. Make me a stealth check. See if you can avoid all the furniture around the room. Okay, you managed to, at one point you nudge a chair with your knee and you manage to put a hand on it to stop it from scraping.
I'm a cat.
You manage to rub against it with your flank. Yeah, you're easily enough nimbly working your way between Dax's legs over towards the door. Okay, you reach the door. It's got a heavy plank of wood across it, as though like a drop bar across the door.
Is there any like cracks in the wood that I can see out through?
And there's a gap at the very bottom of the door with your scale. You're able to lie down and peer out beneath.
Can I smell anyone?
Perception with advantage. If the cat has keen senses.
The cat does have keen senses, yeah. Mm. 12.
No, you cannot smell anyone from outside the door, but you do. Whether it's from outside or inside, you don't know, but you're getting this the strong scent of this raven. More than that, it's a single raven. You're getting a strong scent of raven here.
So I'm just gonna wait here and keep listening out for Dax. Wait for Dax to be finished.
Dax, if you'd like to carry on, you're going to need to reposition and make another stealth roll or sleight of hand.
I think I'm gonna be able to carry more than 3.
I think you're struggling to carry. I'm assuming you're setting them down as you go along, kind of thing, because they are quite. But they're awkward more than weighty. Dax could maybe carry 3 in arms outstretched, but they're awkward. And what do you do with them?
But yeah, it's like if I was to carry them, I'm only going to be able to carry a couple. I'm not going to be able to carry 8.
I'll drop everyone back in so they can still see. What would you like to do, Dax? The cat seems to have left your side. It's sort of scuttled off. You felt it brushing against the leg. You heard it bump against the chair on the way past.
I'll hop down and grab the 3 that I've taken off the wall and go up to Forgotten and the door.
Make me a stealth to make it there.
Oh, yikes. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Well, surely you've got, what do you call that? Expertise and reliable talent, no?
I don't have reliable talent yet, no.
Reliable talent shit, level 6, no?
No.
Huh.
I thought it was level 10.
Worse. Oh, God. 13.
Let me just check something.
It's 11th level.
As you're moving through the room, you manage to get right round to the door, and in perhaps a little bit of a rush, you step upon what feels like something odd underfoot. Little do you know that it is the tail of Forgotten. And as you snap your foot back, you don't make a noise. You're a professional, but you scuff your foot, and from behind you at the bar, you hear. As this raven begins hopping up and down the bar.
We need to get out.
In this silence, it's jarring, this noise.
I quickly lift the bar and open the door to leave.
From outside, as you said the bar open, you hear from outside. Like muted through the wood of the door. And then again, and another, and it quickly turns to 2 or 3 of these.
I open the door and I kind of nudge Forgotten with my foot to get him to go outside.
Yeah. As soon as the door opens, I'm out.
Yeah.
Dax, do you leave the door open behind you, or do you just dash out into the night?
Dash out in the night.
You dash out and you make it to the bottom of the steps and hear this. Now coming from the top of the building, the top of the Blue Water Inn, you hear the. And from behind you in the bar, you hear the raven on the bar. And then the noise changes. You hear a. Like a heavy thump, a heavy wet thud. And you hear a voice from behind you saying, "Wait, if you go out there, the guards will find you. Come back in and tell me what you are doing."
The fuck? I freeze and just look at Forgotten.
You recognize the you recognize the voice. It's hard to make multiple rolls and always succeed.
Yeah.
You recognize the voice as that of Erwin.
Of course.
If the gods see you, you will surely be. Well, I do not wish to speak of what they will do with you, but you will certainly attract trouble to the Blue Water Inn. And you look back and you hear the and Erwin's at the door, naked, unashamedly naked. And he pulls the door open and says, "Quickly, before they see you."
I go back inside.
And
Arms full with wolf heads.
And as Dax steps in the door, he doesn't seem to notice the cat, and he like glances left and right, and then goes to close the door behind Dax. Forgotten, what do you
Wait.
do? Forgotten?
You there? You fell
Yeah.
asleep.
No, I'm eating Chris, so I muted my mic so you couldn't hear me munching.
Oh.
I'm gonna skulk off.
Okay, he closes the door. Yeah. So, you have come to steal the wolf's heads. Surely that is not the your business here.
He left you holding the wolf.
And he stands a large, heavy-bellied, broad-chested man, thick black hair down his chest, and gracefully covering most of him down. And in this dim candlelight, you wish you were not wearing your goggles as you glance down and realize that he is suddenly naked. You glance over at the bar, and the raven is gone, and he stands hands on hips. If it was not if you had not been such a entertainment last night, and perhaps Octavio seemed to like you, I would be calling the guards myself, but I will give you a chance to explain yourself. Dax.
My friend is quite offended by these wolves. And to be honest, I find them quite distasteful as well. We were gonna get rid of them.
And how are you going to get rid of them?
Burning them,
Discreet.
I think was... Yeah.
Do you know what these things are? These creatures, do you know what they are?
Wolves?
No.
They look like wolves.
They do look like wolves. And you look like a thief right now. And yet, as it turns out, things are not always as they seem.
Right.
I am struggling here, Dax. Help me. I do not want to call the guards or to fall out with you myself, but you have put me in a difficult position. I have brought you into my establishment, given you room and board, and now you are stealing trophies from my walls.
It's so cruel. And would you mind putting on shorts? Something.
No. This is how I am.
Okay.
Your golden pantaloons offend me. Your thieving offends me. So if my penis offends you, then I apologize.
What do you mean by trophies?
They are trophies. When you win, when you defeat an enemy, sometimes you take what is theirs. Sometimes it is a city. Sometimes it is an heirloom. It is the crown of the king that has fallen. For us, not so much for myself, but for the people here, the wolves heads represent a victory against the darkness.
Well, I understand that I've offended you, and I can definitely see why, but...
For you, they mean what? Someone's puppy has been hurt. Enough to steal from me, Dax. Enough to... Surely you must understand. Put your life at risk, that of your friends, and this girl, Irina. This frightened girl you brought to my place, the boy. You put it at risk for what? The head of a few creatures? Because they offend you?
It's more complicated than that. It's...
Then you have a short time to explain.
Nature...
Rictavio has asked that you be here in the morning. That I safeguard you. until he returns. And then you will be gone. If it were not for him, tonight would have went differently. It was brave of you to attempt this on your own.
Nature's a part of my friend. This really hurts his soul to see something like this, these trophies you speak of. It's...
Nature is a part
I'm sorry.
of all of us. And if there's one thing in this light forsaken place that cannot be taken by the darkness, it is nature. I am not unakin to nor unsympathetic, but these creatures, they are not of nature. These heads that adorn my wall, I have no more taste for them than you do, but it reassures the people to see them, because it reassures the people. These are not dogs. These are the creatures that attack our walls each night. Some say they are nothing but part of the land, and some say they work for the Dark Lord himself. But they besiege us.
Seems a little sadistic.
On my part or theirs?
I just don't get why keeping something that terrifies you. I don't understand how this brings you joy, but
I agree.
I'm sorry. I was trying to do something for a friend. I was just trying to make him feel better. I have to live with him. I don't have to live with you.
He raises his hand to silence you and says, I agree. You do not understand. But that is no reason to steal from me.
Man, we must be rolling big time good charisma rolls, because we should have been killed. More than once, like every 5 minutes, it seems.
And he says,
I don't know where we go from here.
He says he says to Dax and turns to Dax and says, yeah, thank you, Marielle. He turns to Dax and says, it seems to me that you are...
Get the fuck back to bed and stop fucking around.
Yeah, he turns to Dax and says, it seems to me you have been causing quite the stir around here already. Whatever your intention is, I can only hope that it is noble. But this is not. Then perhaps you need to reevaluate how you do things, or who your friends are, because
I look back at the door, knowing that Forgotten's not there, and say I need to reevaluate my friends as well.
You do. Survival here is a premium. People fight for it every day. I do not know who you are. I do not even know what you are. But it is the same. You coming in with your sword or whatever swinging, and swinging it about does not help anyone.
I understand.
But this is my estate. This is my estate. I do not want your apologies. Just be grateful that you have an appointment in the morning, and then I think you must be gone. I cannot speak for the town, but perhaps if your friend Gallus accomplishes a task I've set before him, we can reevaluate the situation, but until then, you are welcome to return to your rooms. And rest assured that we have our own safeguards. We are always watching. There is nowhere you can go in this building that is not guarded.
Okay.
Good night, Dax.
question. I know I don't deserve any answers, but do you have a pet raven?
No. We do not keep animals as pets here.
There was a raven at the bar.
He just stares at you deadpan.
Okay.
Good night, Dax.
Good night, Erwin. And I go back up to the room.
And you turn and you walk away, and he goes and steps behind the bar, and you can see as you glance over, you can see him like shaking his head, sort of despondently, and turns and walks down to the end of the bar. And when next you glance back, there's a raven sitting in the bar. It's like side-eyeing you.
Yeah.
Forgotten. You find yourself outside once more.
Yeah, I'm going to skulk in the shadows and try and find the hunters.
Okay. How do you intend to do that?
Head towards the wall. And see if I can watch people coming and going and see if anyone stands out as a hunter.
Okay. So even before you head off, you'll know that from what you've gathered, from what you've heard, and also what you've been told, the gates do not open at night. No one comes and goes. So there's going to be no one passing through the gates.
I know, but if the place comes under attack every night, there's a good chance the hunters might be on the walls.
Perhaps. Okay, so there's a lot of wall to go. Make me a perception check. And we'll let that represent your flanking the walls for the evening.
17.
Okay, so as you're scooping the walls, all's quiet. You can see it was easy for you to skirt round about. Everyone that's on the walls, these little platforms they have built up against the palisade. You can see people looking out, and they're always on tenterhooks. As an animal, you can feel it in the air, like an electricity and nervousness. You can hear them muttering. You overhear conversations of the last watch said this. Reports from the south say this happened, and as you spend the day.
1 sec, I'm gonna have to take this.
Dax, what are you doing? As you
I just go
skulk
back upstairs. I just go back upstairs to sleep.
Okay.
Oh.
As all this is happening, Dallas is getting a twitch in his eye in his sleep.
As is Mary.
Yeah.
Fucking forgotten threw me under the bus. The fucking asshole.
Right, but
He did leave you to
take
deal
the
with all of
blame.
that by yourself. He snuck out.
In fairness, well, okay, I can't say nothing.
In fairness, he's a cat. So.
In fairness, he's a cat.
Yeah, but he still knows. He's still himself.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Like he doesn't have cat brain.
As
He's
you
got
patrol,
no brain.
as you patrol the wall, you get the impression that you heard reports coming in from the south, reports coming in from the east, and as you sort of dash through the inside of the town, you dash between allies, trying to catch up to see what this is. The best you can come up with is you get to one point in the palisade where there's a young guard, a young man, only just coming out of his teens, that is lying against the wall with two other men round about him. This particular part of the rampart has like 5 men on it now, glancing out into the darkness with spears, and the young man has got like a large gash through this thick leather jerkin that he's wearing has just been ripped open. You can gauge that it looks like 5 slashes, and each of them are at least 3 inches apart. And as you approach, trying to stay within the darkness, you can hear them like telling this young man that he's done good and he's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. That his father will be proud of him. That he stood well and defended the walls of Vallaki tonight. And as you hear this, the boy glances in your direction and sees you, and almost raises his hand to point at you, and his mouth opens as though to call out at this cat sitting, staring at him from the moonlight, and his mouth opens and blood pours from it, and one of the men like puts his hand on the finger he's raising to point at you. Shh, 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 shh. It is okay. It is okay. You have done well. Your father will be proud. And the boy's mouth opens, the blood pours, and then his eyes fall dead as he slumps against the wall, and the men around him sort of shake their head and rub their hands over his eyes to close them. And they what was he pointing at? And they glance around in your direction, and we see just this sort of beam of moonlight coming down, where the bald cat that is forgotten is now gone. And I think we'll leave it there for tonight, if that's okay with everyone. Because the morning's a good place to start. But
yeah, I'm not done for the night, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's. What else have you got?
Well, on the way back, I was going to stop by the market where we went to, where Dax was threatened.
Stockyard.
Fuck. And I'm going to find somewhere very, very quiet, somewhere where even I struggle to see. And I'm going to drop my wild shape and cast heat metal once again on those nails. And then keep it burning and burning until the wood ignites, and then wild shape away. Back away towards the tavern.
And that is where we'll leave tonight's episode, as we see Forgotten taking back his human form and sitting and concentrating on the spell, and then cutting away to these nails, slowly glowing, and you hear the creak of the wood as the nails begin to glow. We cut out to the market square with these several forlorn figures hanging in the stockades, with the guards sort of like wandering about, looking over sadly, glancing at them. Some of them like scoff and spit, and some of them look sadly and shake their heads. And then we cut back to this, as these, like, in the darkness, we just see these like 8 points of glowing orange begin to glow, and the small wisps of smoke begin to come up. We cut back to the tavern that the Blue Water and the party are sleeping in, and we see aligned across the roof are these 4 ravens, and then another one comes in, and another one, and quickly there's this conflagration of 10-15 ravens sitting along the top pane of the roof.
Oh boy.
That was cool.
Yikes. We're so fucked.
Just make some notes.
All right. I don't even know. Well, I wasn't there for half of what happened, so I'm not sure I can do.
Yeah, a lot of these, there was a lot of little mini scenes, which I love, but as long as everybody else is okay with that.
I have been playing solitaire through most of today. Sorry, but no, I don't really love it. But I can't. I'm not gonna do the. Sorry, I told you I
previously
would,
on.
Right. Thank you. That's it. And I think I'm gonna go. Have a good one all, and see you next week.
Me too, Mariel.
I reckon this one will be a good one for Pip to do, because Pip's had his own scene, with when Dax went away.
But he's missed all of this stuff. I think this would be better for either, I think, Dax or Forgotten, but I'm happy to do it. We'll talk about it, have a think about it. And
I unfortunately don't have time to do it.
That's fine.
I can't.
Cool. Cool. But we'll end it there, and if you've any critiques or comments, feel free to give me a shout. And I'll see you all. I'll speak to you over the week anyway.
Yep.
Is the next one going to be Friday or?
Be Tuesday if everybody's out for Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do either.
I'm good for Tuesday this week. Back to Tuesdays is fine.
Cool.
Awesome.
In that case, see you on Tuesday, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Adam.
We're to say bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.